Steve Copeland, A family, A family, A family, A family, A. A family, A family, A family, A family, A. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. The big mouth, boy, black dude. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. Come on up, Jeff, because I know you hanging around there somewhere. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. The big mouth, bald head, black dude. Come on, Jeff. Where you hiding at? You know what? I'm really disappointed. I am really disappointed. No matter what I tell people I do around Baltimore City, y'all always want to try to make me out to be the scumbag. Always. I'm very, very disappointed. And then I got used, y'all. I got used. One of my clients at the house, right, came on and saying that I want attention. This is my goddamn talk show. I have a broadcast network, right? I can come on my broadcast network anytime I want. 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the evening, 5 o'clock. When I'm on my Restream, live stream, broadcast network, I'm on social media. I am on 2 of my Facebook pages. I am restreaming right now to Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. I'm on my other TikTok. While I'm over here, I'm on TikTok too. While I'm over here, I'm on TikTok too. I just want y'all to know what I do. Right over here, I'm on TikTok too. Now, I keep telling y'all over and 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 over. I'm a community activist. I'm a human rights advocate. I'm a homeless advocate. So basically, that's all I'm saying. I fight against any laws or situations we might have in the community that comes up to hurt the people. I am the voice, not only me now, I'm not by myself because I always say I. See, when I say I, because I am doing the talking. So I can say we, that's not a problem because I say we for 32 years because I am in recovery. So every time I say we, I'm only referring at that time when I say, I'm only referring to what I do. And the reason why I say what I do is because the Holy Spirit, listen to what I'm saying, called me back on a mission. So I can only tell you what God called me to do. So if you want me to say we, then when I see that we are together as one, then I can say we. But for the most part, I have to speak to the individual to let you know how God used me. And it's not personal. So if you come in my life, listen. The only thing I'm going to ask you to do when you come in my life, bring your gift. Don't try to steal what God had me doing. Don't do it. Because I know what I was called to do, right? So as long as you know what you was called to do, the only thing I ask you to do is just bring it, add on. You understand what I'm saying? To help enhance where I'm at. Now I'm going to share some stuff with y'all because of miscommunication. I didn't know, because I just went down the building today. I've been away for a while. That the lady was in the office doing the office work, that my board of director brought her in to do the office work. And be honest, I'm down there asking her, who gave you a key to get in the door to the office space, right? Turned around anyway. I'm gonna try to make it short for y'all, because the police told me today too. I don't know how to keep something simple. He asked me a question. Now, mind you, he asked me a question. He just wanted me to say, he wanted me to answer the way he wanted me to answer. That's why I got in trouble last time. He asked me a question, and I was answering it. But guess what he told me? He said, you going all around here. That's all you got to do is say yes or no. Now, here goes the big mouth, bald head black dude, right? You asked me a question. I have an answer. But you want to tell me how to answer the question that you asked me with either a yes or no. So I told him, I said, I'm not the type of person that you ask a question and it's a yes or no to me. Because if you ask me, it's conversation to me. So if you ask a question, I'm going to answer. Might take 10 to 20 minutes. And that's why I tell everybody I'm known as the big mouth, bald head, black dude. Because if you ask me something, I'm going to take you all the way around the world and bring you back. And that's not really my intention. That's just what I do because I talk. So he asked me another question, and I kept it simple for him. I said, okay, ask me again. And I just gave him a yes or no. And that's not being smart, y'all. That's why I tell people, and it's not being smart. I don't care if you're the police. I don't care who you is. But if you ask a question, you never tell a person how to answer your question because you want to try to control the narrative. You get me? That's why that detective got mad at me, because she asked a question and I kept answering. What I supposed to do? But her thing was, I just want you to say yes or no. No, that's too simple for me. That's too simple. I got to take you all the way around the mulberry bush. But then I realized just to please other people or kiss their booties, I got to say yes or no. You heard what I just said, to kiss their booties? Because why would you ask a person a question? Why would you ask them a question? And I hear a lot of us do that. You ask them a question, and it could be a yes or no question, but they might have an answer with a speech, because I like doing speeches. So I try to warn the police department. I'm not the person that you want to ask anything, because I have you here for about an hour or two where it shouldn't take that long. And be honest with y'all, I'm trying to get better at, if you ask a question, just answering it. But if you ask me a question, and if I feel like it needs more than a yes or no, that's what I'm going to do. Because I'm the type of person I like to explain stuff. And as a result of me doing that, I tend to find myself getting in trouble. Well, we ain't trying to hear all that. I just say that's enough. Well, my thing is, I think I'm going to shut my mouth. Don't ask me a question if I can't answer it. And it might just be yes, no. Because to me, it's too simple. And I have to explain to you why I do what I do. So today, I went down to the building, right? And I'm going to tell y'all, I was really afraid to go. But I had the board meeting. And the guys, they call themselves helping me, which is supposed to be business partners of mine, right? They got my people here so screwed. They are so screwed. I did not know. I'm going to tell you all this. I found out today. I knew when Marlo was down there working on the building and everything, the building was boarded up. So he was taking the boards off the window and everything. I knew that it was shut down because it was called the Animal House. So with my crew and I was to come in and clean it up. But now I kept asking the landlord to fix the elevator. I didn't know that the building was shut down because the elevator wasn't working. So, if your elevator not working, they would close the whole building. They let me go in to a building that was shut down because it wasn't up to code. Now, mind you, when I went in and looking around at everything, cool. But the only thing I had the issue with was the elevator not being fixed. But I didn't know that that was why that building actually was shut down too. So y'all know I'm the problem with that, right? But when you have somebody who's doing work in the city, and I already know what your purpose was for the building, I already know what your plans is for the building, right? So I come in with my housing portion with the women and the children, right? All of a sudden, this person don't want children in the building. Well, you know, I work with women and children. That's what I do. Little by little, things are starting to happen. Now, that's all you got to do. Be honest with you. If the building is shut down because of the elevator and stuff like that, that's all you got to do is get it straight. That's all you got to do. You got all these millions of dollars and stuff like that. And this is what I was explaining. And let me say this to y'all on my social media or on my Facebook. And I say it all the time. Communities United in Us helped Bill Henry and them that put this bill together. Watch what I say. For slumlords to become licensed landlords. So I know what it takes for you to have your property up to code, or you will lose that spot. And that's what happened. He lost it because he didn't have it up to code. And I was telling the subleasing person that I deal with what we did. And she would say, oh, you better not tell him. You better not. But she already knew why the building was closed, why it was shut down. So being a slumlord landlord, you got a year to bring everything up to code, right? So I'm asking them, both of them, about the elevator. Everything else basically cool. Then it's the kitchen area, right? Where I want to do the culinary classes and stuff. And now I'm telling them that I was going to get this company to come in, do everything, you know, bring the kitchen up to code. We had to get new equipment and stuff like that. But every time I talked about enhancing this or enhancing that, I always met with them cutting me down, but I wasn't catching it. I wasn't getting it. It was like every time, now mind you, I didn't ask nobody for money for nothing. But every time I talked about like enhancing this, enhancing that, I was met with some negativity. Why not to do it, right? But the thing is, I already know what you're supposed to do to have everything up to code. But when it came to putting out the money, that's where they was coming at. I ain't asked for no dime. I was talking about bringing like my man over at one of a Turf Cafe, right? He's a chef and everything. I was gonna get him to come in so he can look around in the kitchen, let me know what needs to be done, and check it out. I was going to go to the Websterant store and see where they donate equipment to us to do what we do. That's why I wasn't asking this person for no money, because I can get donations, right? Now, I'm trying to help you in your business, but every time I go to step like this, you got something to say that knocks me back. Now, mind you, I'm not understanding why, but now God started showing me what's what, and I didn't know till I heard them say it today. Actually, nobody's supposed to be in the building. And this lady let me come in that building knowing ain't nobody supposed to be in the building. Tell me, I ain't know he was here. That's what she told the police. I ain't even know he was here. Then she turned around and said, and give me my key. Well, how did I get your key if you didn't know I was here? Why are the business part of it, right? Look on Google search, Stephen Copeland Jr. Strengthen the community, the Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope, right? It'll tell you where I'm right at. But you knew, you gonna tell the police, I didn't even know he was in the building. Why did he get your address and all that type of stuff to start broadcasting this? Now, I know people can go and steal stuff now, don't get it wrong. But y'all got to understand, why would I do it when I deal with a lot of our politicians? And I'm talking about us doing stuff to enhance the community. So for me to do stuff to better Baltimore City, but turn around and be a crook. That's like contradictory. I don't play that. I can't speak on nobody else. I'm just telling you where I'm at. Today, I had a brother, which his girl, I heard his girl over there tell me, and he gonna go on his live, and he gonna go on his Facebook page, and he gonna do this. Let me tell you something, sis. When you go downtown and you call yourself doing something because I'm talking about this, you mention the Couch Conversation Show. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. And let me give you something else to feed him with. That's all you got to do is say, he known as the most hated man in Baltimore City. He known as the most controversial man in Baltimore City. Come on, sis, because I know you looking. Go daddy. Go daddy. Has traffic. I see. Now, that's what I want you to do. Because you know what? Y'all take it in a negative way when I come out to share stuff with y'all. That's your problem. That's not mine. My thing is, and the reason why I said I was going to start calling myself the big boy black dude, because that's the label y'all gave me. That's the label y'all gave me. I can sit here and tell y'all I was called to the ministry. I'm a deacon and blah blah blah. I can tell you this. I haven't been in a serious relationship in 6 years. That means I ain't had none in a while, right? So I'm only sharing with y'all because now, as I begin to get older, a lot of the stuff I used to do, I just don't do no more. I was pushed today by a big old bouncer. Bro, certain things I can't say. But I just wanted to tell you this. Never, ever threaten an OG out loud. Okay? Never threaten you. Never, 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 never. And I know y'all probably look and never do that. And then when I opened up my housing program for your family, and then you want to come in and make me feel like I'm a piece of shit, why is your girl in there? You such a man, you strong. Don't make me do it, bro. Because guess what? I was taught that a man takes care of his responsibilities. My wife, my children, my girlfriend, they are my responsibility. They should not be reaching out to these shelters and housing programs for help if they in my life. And then you want to try to make me think you're a man? That's how you would, come on. Don't play me. And that's why people get mad at me, because one thing you got to understand, I done been through certain things. So when I tell you I have 32 years clean, I used to live a certain way of life. I don't live it like that no more. And my goal is to go back into the community now for the stuff that I have learned from, right? And how I begin to grow to help the community. And let me go back to this right here. Strengthen the community. The Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope clients are my clients. They are homeless people. They are my responsibility to make sure they find somewhere to go. And I had to share this with a guy. Y'all are under my care. So my goal is to reach out to homeless services. My goal is to reach out to these government people that's supposed to help y'all. And if I got a verbal agreement with you, you can tell me all you want. I gotta go. But you got to evict me. And you gotta evict each and every one of our clients. And that can take years. So rather than my clients listening to me, right, I got some people that, I thought was my, lead people. And they going in there feeding the people misinformation. I go down there today, you two suckers that called yourself watching my stuff didn't even show up for the fucking meeting. Know why? Because they knew they was wrong, Chef. Fresh. Them mother suckers down there manipulating and playing with my daggone homeless and less fortunate people. And when I stepped in, they stepped out. I called the board meeting. And y'all down there playing the people. Man, look. I called the police and the police even came up against me. Tell them everything I do and y'all suckers do it every time. Every time. Show you all my paperwork. I can show you this and show you that. Tell you the type of people I work with that need mental health, mental conditions. I can sign them away to get professional help. I can tell you everything. But you will still turn around. And this is the police department. I'm going to tell you why they do it. Because they only understand the law when you break it. Other than that, I asked the police officer, I said, do you know what, Chef? I asked the police. I said, excuse me, sir. Do you know what transitional housing is? He said, no. I was like, oh, shit, I can't even talk to you. And it's the police. Do your damn homework. Do your homework. But see, what I have to understand, and it's no disrespect to nobody, they understand the law. They understand the law. It's like your politicians. They understand the laws. They create laws. But they don't have a solution towards their laws. That's why y'all have to pay attention. That's why it's people like myself, and we come in with grassroots stuff. If we see what the issues is, right? We see what the issues is. The point is you get to the root cause of why they're doing what they're doing. Your politicians don't do that. Your police officers don't do that. Because y'all got to understand they're only about the laws. And when you break them, they can tell you what that's. Now y'all see why I said I don't like dealing with the police. That's why I don't. I don't. Because I'm the big head, bald head, black dude, big mouth, bald head, black dude. That's why I don't like dealing with certain people, mainly when I know you don't understand nothing about solutions. When you don't understand nothing about preventive maintenance. They got so lost today. I'm talking about the police, right? They listening to this person, that person, this person, that person. This is what I told them to do. I said, go and get the ones that was in here that I was having the board meeting with, and they can tell you what really happened. But they outside listening to some people that was locking me in my office. The dude was a bouncer type dude. And then he did like this on me. So I heard the girl outside talking to the police. I ain't mention no names, so you can go ahead and throw yourself in here. She talking to the police, right? Wait a minute, because it's going this way. She talking to, she just came in. Same things happened to me with this other young lady, right? Came right for me. Right for me. She even mentioned that too. Because she mentioned to him about me going on my live. But y'all in there thugging me. Y'all in there talking street talk. I'm like, come on. Y'all reached out to my housing program for help. And the thing is, guess what? Now I'm going to say this to y'all. Don't y'all pay nobody no dime. Nothing June the 1st. Hold your money. Hold your money. Hold your money. And I'm talking to the clients in my building. Hold your money. You bet not pay nobody nothing. Know why? Because she told y'all to get out, right? Y'all have a, guess what? Now she has to file an eviction notice. Even though it was verbal. That's why I sent that information out. One thing as a transitional housing program, I have to understand my work. So my thing is, guess what? I went down and took all my folders out with my people names on it. Because guess what? I'm going to homeless services. I'm going to talk with the Inspector General. I said I didn't want to do it. I was telling my buddy, I said, but they playing with this big mouth, bald head, black dude. I'm sending a message to State's Attorney General Anthony Brown. Y'all want to play with me? Play with me. And I told her, you don't want to come up this route, sister. I did not know. Pleasant. I did not know. I knew this building was called the Animal House, but I did not know this building wasn't supposed to be up in operation because of the elevator not working. So it's not up to code. And another partner told me that. He said, if my elevators ain't working and he got furniture spot, right? He said, if my elevator's not working, such and such and such, they shut the whole building down. And that whole building is supposed to be shut down. I said, God dang it. No wonder God put a halt to it. I didn't know. And the people that I'm dealing with that know this snake, she told the police, he don't give me no money. I got receipts and stuff, right? She told the police, he don't give me no money. He don't do that. Oh, yeah, he did give me some. They told me, my client, look, my people told me, they said, Steve, shut up. Shut up. And shut up. Because she out there telling on herself. And I had to walk on the other side of the street because I said, my name Bennett, and I ain't in it stupid stuff. But guess what? I want to say this in case y'all looking to each and every one of my clients. I'm not going to leave y'all hanging. Please don't think I'm going to leave you hanging. I don't work like that. I know y'all hate me. I know y'all can't stand me. I know y'all talk about me because there's other people that started spreading a bunch of rumors about Steve, and it's okay. Because if that's where your heart and your mind is at, I let y'all into my house, my building, basically, to help y'all. But I understand the people that was feeding y'all a bunch of poison. Y'all ain't got to worry about it. Y'all ain't got to worry about nothing. And I'm talking to my homeless and less fortunate people that's in my housing program. And they scared, y'all. They down there scared. They scared. They ain't got nowhere to go. I said, y'all are going to be all right. And then y'all get mad at me. And I hate to see people with power and authority take advantage of our people. And they always make me out to be the snake. So the guy called me. He texted me. He trying to badmouth me. And I said, bro. I said, brother and king, don't worry about it. I got y'all. Y'all under my housing program. I cannot ban y'all like that. I can't. Y'all are in the Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope. I do transitional houses. My thing is, I'm going to have to get some people with some trucks and come and get y'all out of there. And if y'all over there looking at me, I had to walk away. I had to walk away because I know what I got to do next. I'm going to homeless services. I sent Tim Fazenberg a message. I said, bro, I need you. I sent Christine Flowers a message. She's a homeless advocate. I said, I need y'all. I sent Corey McCray a message. I said, I need y'all. And he's a politician, y'all. I need y'all motherfuckers to step up and help your people. They not my people like that. But sometimes I get pissed, y'all, because I watch us as Black people. And we want to say the white man this and the white man that. I watch us as Black people just crush us down. And that shit hurt. And that shit hurt. And I watch people. And I'm going to tell you, this brother came for me. And I caught the lift down there, right? Because my truck is in the shop, both of my trucks. Well, my other truck in the backyard. And I had to get away from these people real quick. They screwed my clients' heads up, y'all. And I'm only doing this because it hurts like hell when my own people come up against me. And I love when y'all say the white man this and the white man that and the white man this, and we tear each other the fuck apart. And I can't get y'all to come together for nothing. I can't get y'all to come together for shit. And I got to replace all these people for somebody putting me in the damn bandit building, basically. And I called my other partner that worked with her too, that knows her. And I said, man, why you didn't tell me this woman was like this? And why you didn't tell me? And I'm like, why are you coming for me? Why are you coming so harsh at me? Ah, Lord have mercy. Got my clients, man. Got the people that need our help the most. They need therapy. They need, medication. And I'm telling you, they down there hating me so much. They hate me so much. That's why I was scared to go down there this morning. I'm like, God, please give me the strength to go. And then you big motherfucker, you can't, bro. The police told me go downtown and do what I gotta do. And be honest with y'all, I wasn't trying not to. I wasn't trying not to. I wasn't trying to take that route. But once he was clear about what's what, he told me, Mr. Copeland, go down there. I don't want to report this lady to Inspector General and stuff. I don't want to go to Anthony Brown and them y'all. And I put Ivan Bates on there and I put all of them on there. I posted because now I got to do what I got to do to help the people. And I was trying to avoid all that. And my daughter told me to do it. And she said, Daddy, go ahead. I was trying to avoid it. You gonna tell the police you didn't even, you gonna tell them, I didn't even know he was in here. I didn't even know who he was. But then gonna turn around and say, and give me my keys. I'm like, do they what the hell is she saying? One minute you tell me you didn't know I was there. Then again, let me make this clear. I was introduced to you. You the one introduced me to the owner. I called the owner and I asked the owner because he got a lot of property. I said, can you help me put them somewhere else? He knows a lot of people, so it was like he ain't have enough space for them. Because it's her crazy ass. It ain't him. It ain't him. And that's why from time to time I be asking myself, is it all worth it? Is it all worth helping our homeless and less fortunate people? When you have parents and they doing their best they can to raise you, giving you more, teaching you morals, values, and principles, and you bucking them, I can understand why they don't want you in there, or you burnt your bridges with your family. Let me use that word, right? And you burnt your bridges, right? But my thing is, when you got grandkids, and your grandkids are sleeping from place to place to place to place, you never know who might violate them kids. And I know you burnt your bridges. with your parents, but it's like you grown and you not thinking. But then you somewhere that's willing to help you get a stable place. Now, mind you, I do temporary housing. I done had about 5 of my clients go down to the rental office to put in a lease for a permanent place. One of them called me, right, because of where her things, you know her background. She got to pay double the security. It's not that she can't get it. She just have to pay double the security. And she don't have it. So I had to explain to her, I don't want them now. Don't get it wrong. I can't control what the leasing office do. I can only encourage them and let them know what I'm doing with my program to help you change your old ways of thinking and doing things and teaching you how to be more responsible. Now, I got some people in my building that wants to apply for permanent housing. But then when I say how much can you afford each month for something like that, they might say $900 a month. But then they forget the security. And my thing is, ho. This is the point of teaching you and preparing you to save your money, be responsible, be productive. So if you can afford 1,000, you make sure you got that 1,000, and you make sure you at least have that 1,000 for security. But the double, I know it's a little bit too much. But now, that's not the goal to get you into. But you might not qualify for the low income. You get me? Or you might not qualify for the HUD housing stuff. But the goal is to prepare you for that, where you can get in on the low to moderate income part of it, right? That's what the wraparound service is about. So what Mr. Allen like about it, this the owner, that we are actually the real estate developer, that we are actually preparing the clients mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That's why people don't understand why the mental health program is so important. So basically, it's about changing your old ways of thinking and doing things, helping you to be more. Say, like if you got that ghetto mentality, certain things I don't like to say because I don't want to admit, I don't want y'all to think I'm down. I don't want you to think I'm down. But now, if you got that ghetto mentality, the goal is to teach you how to live a more conservative and productive way of life. That's what it is. Because most people that's living a more conservative and productive way of life, they're a little bit more responsible. Their mindset is a little bit more structured. I guess that's the best word I could put, right? So it's to teach that ghetto mindset, to teach you how to get away from that. So now, in my case, I can encourage and motivate you to doing certain things. But you the one with the professional side of it. And that's where that mental health service coming at. That's where that coming at. Yeah, I'm okay, Juan. This is just right now. I get emotional and I don't, this is my way of venting to y'all, getting stuff out. That's the way I vent. So, and helping people, right? Now, I do this, and I'm gonna jump back over to the mental health part because I have 32 years clean, and I come through the process of recovery. So I use the spiritual morals, values, and principles like being honest, being open-minded, having faith, trusting, and all of that has to go in you. It has to be in you. That's why I can tell when most people, a lot of times, will break out nets trying to make everybody on the outside happy, right? When it got to start in here first. Because the only way I can get back that being loving, kind, considerate, I had to learn to love Steve all over again. I had to learn to care for Steve again. And sometimes that's why it's so overwhelming, because I'm a real passionate guy. And then on top of that, I'm a Pisces. So I got my emotions and stuff go like this. So I can't apologize for it because I'm a human being. Why should I apologize for hurting? Why should I apologize for being afraid? Why should I apologize for being scared? That I'm a human being. And I teach people to learn how to love yourself for who you are, right? You can't fit everybody's narrative. So I have to stay here. But in that process, because of the love and the compassion and the kindness and the gentleness, because of who I am and giving back. Now, I'm not Jesus Christ. Let me make that clear because he popped in my head just now. But if you read Emulating Christ's Humility, he was a loving, kind, considerate, thoughtful person. Not only that, if you look at him and the apostles, when Jesus came into this world, Jesus went into the community. He went to embrace the lost generation. That's y'all read scripture, but you're so busy quoting somebody else's life story. Your story in the Bible too. I ain't understand that at one point till I heard Jamal Brown say that. He said, find your life story is written in the Bible. He said, find your story. So when I started reading and practicing certain things, right, I started going to scripture and I started saying Steve. And I started realizing that Moses, and I'll give y'all a good example. When God told Moses to go tell Pharaoh, I said, let my people go. Who do you think he was talking about? Your religious people or organized religion. And your kings, your queens, your people of authority, your politicians. They wasn't called it like that back then. So he told Moses to go tell Pharaoh them, because Pharaoh wasn't just an individual, just one person, right? He told them, he said, let my people go. They're not your people. And they were starting to enslave them. So what's happening now? See, you can talk scripture all you want, okay? But when you start living it, then let's keep it real, okay? So some of us God uses us in his own special way. So when I tell y'all the Holy Spirit called me to go back out, now on top of that, remember when he gave the commission, or when he told the midwives, all the firstborn young males, what he said do? Unalive them. And that's because I'm on TikTok. Right? Now, in this generation now, this era now, we have a lot of young men. It's not making it to 18. And y'all think it's okay. Then you have, check it out. I shared it the other day. Elon Musk, Donald Trump, they aren't politicians. They aren't. So they don't know a lot about the laws, but they know how to create stuff to continue entrapping and enslaving the people. Cut out these government programs. Stop funding them. Who gonna suffer the most? The people that need the government, the state and the government programs, right? And then you got the school prison pipeline, or the pipeline school to prison, right? For our younger generation. And it tells you when you don't properly educate our children, and they're not all dark skinned. When you don't properly educate our children, they're going to run amok. They normally going to start living a life of havoc. So who turned around and said something about defunding the school system? And I hear how a lot of y'all talk. You go back and you talk about all this stuff about history. Well, I'm back, I'll answer this and that. They're practicing the same things today. Well, national research, such and such and such, focus on the IAUN, because you're not all over to fix that nationally, but we can come together. Do y'all think they like me talking like this? They rather for us not to know. That's why you stay in the dark. So people like myself, I'm not by myself. I might say I, but understand I'm not by myself. I can tell you why. I'm not a paid organizer or human rights advocate, and that would be fine. but I'm not a paid one because you have certain guidelines that you have to follow. So when I come and I know certain things, the ones that have to live within the laws of that, let me say, nonprofit or whatever they're in, some of them can't speak out like I do because I'm not limited because I don't get paid. That was one of the reasons I wasn't trying to sign up for nonprofit money. Because a lot of y'all don't know when you get certain things and they supporting you to make sure you have that money to keep doing what you're doing, it's like you selling your soul too. Even though it's government funded, even though it's free money. But when they say do this and do that and do this and do that, you got to do it or they will stop the money. So for somebody like me, I didn't want to jump on certain things. So now let me share this. I'm an LLC, right? I'm an LLC, limited liability company, right? So I'm looking at being a sole proprietor. I might pronounce it wrong, but papaya, right? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Just catch it. Because I'm not held bound by certain things. Now I have to live. I have to know the rules. I have to know all that. Now I can hire. Don't forget because of what I do. Mine is transitional housing. So I am. If I was, I'm trying to see what is it that I should be licensed for, because as long as I know how my property's supposed to be, like with the fire extinguishers, with the exits, because you got to do a I was gonna say a floor mat of the property and everything. You got to show them how to exit out during fire and all of that. I know all that. So it's certain protocols you have to follow. But when you get limited liability, that takes a lot of, like if somebody want to sue you for whatever reason, they sue the corporation, or that takes some of the responsibilities off of you financially. But when you're doing it as a sole proprietor, right, you're responsible for that. So, and I started looking up some other things because there's ways and means to get around stuff. But either way, whatever you do, you have to pay taxes. Wherever you paying taxes, if it's a EIN related or if it's related to your Social Security, you still have to pay taxes, right? So I'm looking into this, and I started reading up about community centers, because the goal is to open up a multi-purpose center for inner city youth. Now, what it told me is you can get space. You can be licensed now, because now most people that's licensed going for the government funding, right? But anyway, the liability stuff. So you can be licensed, but in my case, because I'm not a sports person, because I won't be doing a lot of the work myself, I can hire you to come in with your license to like teach football, basketball, baseball, cricket, lacrosse, because now you're coming in as the professional. But I can provide the space, just like I'm doing with my transitional housing part, right? Because I'm a business. So what happens, a lot of y'all want to try to educate me on what I do when I've been doing it for a while. But there's certain ways you can do things, and I want to say in a sense, not counted for. But you still keep in mind, no matter what, whether it's an LLC, whether it's, just you running off of your Social Security with your business, is how you get investors to work with you. But what it was saying to me too, once you're an LLC, sometimes investors would rather invest more in the LLC for I'm gonna say, I want to say liability, but I'm just saying for the loss that they could lose. So they cover more, that's what covers you a lot, basically from what I was getting. Now, because of who I am or how I like to do things, I want to make sure that I'm covered even more, right? It's just correcting your wrongs too. But because I am a business, we can still do business work together. We can. And I'm just saying with the LLC, because, or just what I do because I can actually hire your company to come in and do the business. Like if you license, that's what I'm trying to get to. Like you might be a doctor or LPN and want to come in and deal with my clients through nursing and stuff like that, right? And and medical care can pay your expenses. I can hire you on because that's what I'm doing. But you're getting paid through them, not me. So that's what my housing program is about for a lot of y'all to don't understand. Because of what I do temporarily, because of what I do transitionally, I can provide the housing service. I just have to provide the professionals that's like with the mental health part. Or if I want somebody to help your company to help train somebody, skills, professional skills and stuff like that. And we can get the funding because you have to be the one. I can do it, but that's when you have to have all your ducks in a row where we could get the funding. Check this out, to get you paid for working with my clients because I hired you. So as long as you come in and you say, Mr. Copeland, I don't mind volunteering, cutting hair, or you come in and say, Mr. Copeland, I got a culinary class in there, well, a kitchen where the chef can cook and everything. That's all you got to do is volunteer your service. Once you volunteer your service, what my business to do, I can apply so that you can get paid for each client that you're teaching in my business. That's how it works. So I'm hiring your company to come and work for me. So that's why when you come on with me, your credentials have to be right. You have to be licensed because I'm not personally teaching it. I'm hiring you to work with my in-house clients. That's why anybody that comes with me, come on as a partner, even the pastor. The pastor's on there. So she's coming in doing services. So later down the line, say like once we begin to grow and we begin to order Bibles or we want to expand to certain other things because she's part of the business, because she came on volunteering first, we can get the fundings that help support what she do. Just like I have a tutorer that's coming in. He's tutoring to Sean's daughter. So as a result of that, right? And he can educate you too. So first we'll work with the in-house clients. Then when it get to the point that we can get them that funding for each client, that's all you got to do is tell me how much you want per client. How long does it take you? Like 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I'm just saying for you to certify them. Then we can get that money because we're already doing the services. It's just getting you the money. And what I'm doing with you is actually getting you paid for doing the free service, for volunteering your services. But you have to volunteer your services so that we can record it, so they can see what's going on. And then when we go to apply for the money, we can apply for the money for you to do it under that funding, because you'll get funding to do what you're doing. It could be up to 20 people. It could be up to 10. It could be up to 30. But that's how I start out with you coming up being a part of this. So the police was asking Pastor today what position she plays with coming into strengthening the community. So she told him that she, teach and things like that. And this is her way of starting out her church ministry. That's how one hand feed the other, Now, Harry Mead, he's a contractor. That's what he do. He work with real estate investors. That's what he do. So now I do temporary. So say like he got some real estate investors that have some empty houses and we could put the clients in. That's what I want him to do. But you don't come in and touch the transitional part. That's me. Because I got to prepare them from the temporary side. I just need you to make sure it's a permanent place for them when they graduate from the program. Don't touch me. And I'm talking about my business and how I do things. Because I have a way of doing stuff that I know what it's going to take for them to be more productive, responsible, and all of that. I know. So you don't want to come in and touch that. Just come in with your gift. Or how Pastor said it last night. It's like we know Christ is the head. I'm gonna put it like that. We know Christ is the head, right? And our hands, our arms, our legs, and stuff like that is the body, and they all work into conjunction. But you don't want to try to override and take over that other part. You don't do that. So you come in with your profession, mainly if you know how to teach people. Because when you're dealing with me, you have to be licensed. I'm not the one in that sense that has the professional. Like if you're a psychiatrist, you're a PRP, you're a counselor, you're LPN. You have to show me your credentials. And then you already know where your money gonna come from. Mainly if you can bill medical assistance for your services. So you know who's gonna pay. You just bringing your service in. So I'm not gonna keep trying to explain that to y'all. I just know my part and what strengthening the community can offer back out. Now, in my housing program, my temporary housing program, what I explain to my clients that flies right over their head, and those are the ones that don't want to do the work. And we can put you in temporary housing, or when we put you in permanent housing, say like down the line, you say, Mr. Steve, I want to get into the home buyers program because I know people that's building up in the communities, building new communities. So the goal is we'll sign you up. As I know people building, or when we get together to start building together, because that's the whole goal, is to start rehabbing and revitalizing houses. So what I'm doing, I'm preparing them from the temporary side to go into an apartment, a house, a home, or to buy a house for the low to moderate income people. We can do $300,000-$400,000 houses. That's not a problem. But the goal is, in my mind, is to make it affordable for the ones that make like $40,000 or less. I always say between $12,000 and $15,000 an hour, because we don't want your mortgage to be no more than at least $500 a month. In some cases, we don't want it to be no more than $600. So my goal is to give you a price range. So if you get a house for about 180, 200,000, and the credit score is low, like 1%, 2%, but now somebody got to work on building up your credit. So this where we have credit builders in it, we have lenders in it, we have creating, right? Because he's a developer, commercial and all of that. So when you're talking about building something, you're talking about building in a community as a whole, and that's what he does. And not only him, I don't want to mention the other name, right? But they big willers to me. But it's another person that knows where my heart is at when it comes to the revitalizing and rehabbing houses. And I'm talking about communities. And we are talking about doing it for the low to moderate income people, just making them affordable for them. And then you have, which they talking about cutting out like programs, and I can only speak for Baltimore City. And they talking about cutting out programs. Hey, what's up, Christy? And they talking about cutting out the funding I'm trying to get to. I got a phone call plus about how they are. And these people are big developers like him. And how they start to cut certain government programs where people can't get into certain things, or they're cutting back on it financially, right? Where it's going to make it harder for like the low to moderate income people get houses because they have certain government programs that you can get in. I know who to go talk to. I know who to talk to because of what I do. I basically know who, and this is something y'all need to understand when it comes to the politicians and what I deal with. I know who knows what property at. I know who got the funding if we need it like that. But I received a phone call one day, right? And a person was asking me to be a part of. And the reason why I'm saying this, because they didn't need the money. They was looking at some property that they wanted to build on, but I already know how the system will stop you, or they will hold us back from doing certain things. Watch what I say that again. Watch what I say. I know how they will hold us back, right? So with certain people that I know in politics that we can go to when it comes to the big developers getting the contracts. I know who we can go to. It's just the way you talk to them. So because I am known as the big mouth boy dude, and they see me, I can't act like this. I can't act like a fool with them the way I'm on here. So when I go and meet people, I got to dress up and look nice, play the part, right? But anyway, some people, they will kind of try to hold, well, not kind of, but they will try to hold you back from getting the major contracts. So let me tell you what I do too. It's a white developer, big developer in Baltimore City, corporate. And I pick with them all the time. And I say, man, look, I know they be getting major contracts, doing blocks and stuff like that, community sections, all of that. So my thing is talking with him. Let us get a percentage of that contract. I understand they're using out of town developers. Let us get a percentage of that contract. Because guess what? Now, listen to the big mouth boy here do to show y'all how I work. I'll step in as a broker. And I go to our major developers that from out of town for us to share in that, because some of them put money in to build to gain money. So when I got that phone call and the person was telling me that I got the money, they just holding me back from getting such and such and such. So I want you to talk to them. I said, no problem. See, when you know the power, and see y'all, when a man talk about him, understand I wasn't always like this. The courage, the confidence, and when you know yourself as a human being, what you can do and what you cannot do. Now, mind y'all, I haven't, if you look at me, the business is stable like this. And because I haven't made like millions and millions and millions to be able to save more, but when I do certain things to build, the money tends to go back into whatever I'm doing to build. So I started realizing that I have to make more. I have to start making more than what I spend to improve. And that's the business wise. Look at that building over there. We came in, start working on it, start fixing it up. It was not like that at first. And I could not understand why. Now I do. I was getting so much grout about it. Because we beautifying things. So I'm going to use this word right here. Slumlord landlords. Okay? I didn't catch it at first. But I kept hearing this. It was about the money, about the money, about the money, about the money, about the money. I kept hearing that. I know it's about the money. But I wasn't aware at the time. And God just halted. He said, boom. I said, something ain't right here. He's trying to get me to see some things. I just didn't know at the time what it was. It's beginning to be a little bit more clear now. But the sad part with me, and I got to go back to this, as a human rights advocate, or let me go, as a homeless advocate, my goal when you in my housing program, now it's temporary to permanent housing. I know how important it is to change your old nasty ways of thinking and doing things. And that's one of the reasons why Mr. Allen wanted me to be a part of what we do over here, right? Because the goal is to just help people. If a landlord rents you his property, not only do he want his money at least on the first of every month, he wants you to maintain his property. He wants you to keep his property clean. If you got to learn how to cut grass, if you got to learn how to him to, you know, trim the hedges and stuff like that. That's why my friend coming from another city to come here so he can teach our people. Now listen to what I said. He said, teach. I don't have a problem with volunteering to teach the people how to cut grass, lay sheetrock, all of that. Black Eden handyman. This is what he said, and listen to how people talk. I don't have a problem with coming in, volunteering my services to help people grow. And my thing is, come on. Because if you're willing to come in and start teaching first or volunteering your service first, my goal is I want you to get paid for it down the line. I just need you to come in if you're willing to spend some time with them and show them. That's what I want, because I know your heart is more into it. And you know the money gonna come because it's business. So now I deal with certain people that's willing to, you know, be of service first. Just help the people grow. That's what helped me to better understand where your heart is at when it comes to being that loving, caring, God-fearing, no matter who you serving. I call him Jesus Christ. And I'm not talking about the religious side. Don't get me mixed up. I told y'all I was like that early on. This Holy Ghost filled fire baptized. I'm not saying, and I don't talk in tongues and all that type of stuff. I'm the one that does a lot of the work, the action part. Because I watch how Christ came into the city. And as a human being, when you don't have people around you that's really supporting you, do you see how you can become under attack? And that's what happened with me today too, but they flipped it. Look at my fingers. Look at my fingers. Only got 6 guys. Look, I got 6 fingers. I can't even ball a fist right with this. Would I look like swinging on somebody with this? Because there's a good chance if I swing on you, one of these gonna jump out of place. It used to happen a lot when I was a kid. So why would I? And I'm putting this up here for a reason. Please go do what you do. And I'm going to show my fingers. So when you said today, he tried to choke me, I can't even get a good grip with this. So I want you to see this. So when you go running off at your mouth, you make sure you tell him he's deformed. He was born with 6 fingers. So when that female was up there trying to tell the judge, yeah, he was choking my husband. And I did the judge like this. I did the judge like this. I was choking him, right? I have 6 fingers. 6. That's why y'all need to observe people more. Then you want to go make false accusations just like the 2 white police did on me. Like I'm your problem. You reached out to my whole housing program for help. And I come on my live and I talk about things on my live or my talk show. That's his talk show. I'm no different than the Oprah Winfrey. I ain't making that money that I'm trying to get there. Or Donahue, or you know, most people that have a talk show. Told y'all I stream to 8 different platforms. I'm right here on TikTok over here. I'm streaming to Twitter over here. I'm streaming to Twitch over here. I'm streaming to 2 of my Facebook pages over here. I told y'all I have about 14 social media pages, platforms. What's up, Rodney? And then somebody gonna say, well, you ain't gotta go on show Facebook and say everything. This is Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. And make sure you tell them whatever judge you go to and whatever I'm saying on here. But see, he be on the like social media, but you won't tell him. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. And 9 times out of 10, if I start singing, the judge probably would say, wait a minute, I heard that name somewhere before. But you going to tell on yourself. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation show. And I'm not trying to badmouth nobody. I'm only sharing. Please keep in mind, I'm only sharing my experience of what I went through from what happened to me. Now, if you look it up, it says keeping it real. If you look up basically what the talk show is all about itself, it's called Keeping It Real. Rodney, I was just looking at what you said. You can bad about me if you want. Look, I mean, that's Rodney, it hurts. I try not to let it bother me, bro. That shit hurt. That shit hurt. And sometimes I can't understand, right? Because I'm like, y'all, look, I put my life on the line. I ain't know if this dude was giving ready. I ain't know if he had something for real. About $600. What's that? You gonna give my wife her money now? And I came right up to his face like that and looked right in his eyes because I wanted him to know, bro, I know you're a bouncer. You don't know me. You don't know that. No, I used to be like that when I was that big and ugly. I'm too handsome now. I ain't trying to go to jail for nobody. My kids are grown though, but I ain't. Hell, I want to be over to prison for watching. I'm sorry. Guys walking around with their pants showing this shit. I'm like, what the hell happened? Excuse my language, y'all. I'm watching guys over to prison, right? 52 something years old, and next thing I know, they come in there about a week later, their pants hanging down. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Y'all might like that stuff. I don't. Terrified me. What the heck I want to go to prison for and watch a bunch of dinglings and all that? Y'all go for that gay bull junk, not me, because y'all want to be tough. No. 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 And then want to go over there brag, y'all got 16 kids. Who home taking care of kids? You in here. Well, my baby mom doing it. My baby mom doing it by herself. Yeah, B over there. I was like, what? And they calling them bees? Oh my God. Yeah. And bragging and boasting about it. How you a man? Can't even spend 10 cents on your own daggone baby and wonder why the baby mother out there struggling to take care of the kid herself. Well, that's her business. She shouldn't have never left me. You shouldn't have never slept with her without putting something on. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. And I done raised 2 foster care daughters. Some of y'all be like, I'm stepdaughter. I was there. No, I was not. They are my daughters, no matter how I label it. They are my daughters. I done foster care with my nieces and nephews. I did it to stop from them going into the system. I mentored young men. And if y'all want to say he bragging, he boasting, okay. But I'm only telling y'all what this big mouth, bald head, black dude do. And if y'all, that his ego, that his pride, well, yeah. It's courage. It's confidence. It's stepping up to the plate. But y'all want to say it in a negative way like it's wrong for a man to be responsible. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. Y'all kill me with that. Well, see, don't older people don't understand that stuff no more. Know why? Because we do 50-50. You selling yourself short. Suckers. 50-50. Even if I don't, I would never. If I ain't doing nothing, it would still be 100. Because I'm 100 and more. 50-50. You selling yourself short. Don't even realize it. If I take I ain't taking, here go the guys now, y'all. Here go the guys. Now let me share something with y'all, right? Let me share y'all something with y'all, right? I'm a retired sugar daddy. I'm a retired whoremonger. I'm a retired, I was going to say prostitute. I'm a retired. I am a retired. I can tell y'all right now, and y'all might look at it in a negative way, and that's okay, because I learned my lesson. I was married twice. I cheated in both of my marriages. Well, that don't make no sense. It made a lot of sense to me at the time. And you know, I only share with y'all my truth. So I don't need you to come back. If you want to ask a question, ask a question. That's no problem. But I didn't realize, and I can say it now for a lot of y'all that might not like it, I was selling my freaking self short. But I'm a man, and I need to sleep with this one, that one, 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 that one, because it made me feel like it made me, man, you could let me know. I was selling myself short. I was sedating. That's the way, Rodney, I sedated my feelings and emotions. That little boy would run to this poo-poo, that poo-poo, this poo-poo, whenever I didn't want to deal with reality. I would run and sleep with her, and had a wife at home. Oh, why are you saying that? You telling on a lot of men. I'm talking about me. I remember praying, and it wasn't to God, to the devil, because I knew God wasn't going to do it, for 10 females. And I got to about 8. And I said it the other day on here. If you told me you slept about 3 or 4 days, I had to do 5. And guess what? I thank God to this day, I don't have nothing because I don't like condoms. He was protecting his food anyway. What I got to lie for? That's my story. Now, I haven't been in a real relationship in 6 years now. And I'm like, how in the hell that happened? I had to ask myself, how that happened? I asked my friend that left me to went to Philly, took my poo-poo and went away, right? Didn't even tell you nothing, just left me. I said, how long you been gone at that time? She said 2.5 years. I said, God dang it, I ain't had nothing in 2.5 years. I ain't nothing, blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't like I planned it. Because you know, you just live for the day, right? But it just accumulated. That's why a lot of y'all be like, God dang, how you do that? I did not plan it. It was just, you know, day by day. And all of a sudden, when I look back at it, I was like, oh my God. And I'm talking about a person that looked at sex as a way of, it's another addiction for me. Let me say that. It's an addiction, if you understand what addiction is. That's why I have no problem saying I'm an addict. And the reason why I say I'm an addict, because I tend to like I can eat one thing, but let me try. I want y'all to see. If I go and buy a pie, a regular pie, if I'm not careful, I'll eat that whole pie. So I have to take a slice. I might end up taking 2. Then I might have to tell myself, Steve, don't touch it no more. Don't do. So what I had to do, like when it comes to the sweets and stuff, because I'm a diabetic too, I had to stop buying sweets to bring in the house. Little stuff like that, right? Or if I buy certain things, I can't have it near me. I got to keep it somewhere so it'll be out of my head, because I don't want to cause my numbers to go real crazy. You get me? So certain foods I can't eat. And when it comes to like, I'll order once in a while. I might order fried chicken, stuff like that, and fries, just to treat myself. I might eat McDonald's once in a while, Burger King. Now, mind you, you looking at a dude that used to be over 300 pounds. I'm about 200 now. And I don't want to get no bigger, because I think I'm a handsome man. I think I'm a beautiful man. Let me stop because I'm going to say gorgeous, sexy, and all that. But now that's what I tell myself sometimes because of the self-esteem, right? And I'm going to get ready to end this. But I wanted to come on. I put a lot of faith and trust in people. I put a lot of faith and trust in people. And I call myself trying to be more careful this time compared to what happened to me some years ago. You know. And I can only take your word. And I know we'll talk about spiritual discernment and stuff like that, right? But I can only take your word. And sometimes I try to watch what I see you do, not just to talk about it, right? For me, I have to watch it too. And when I prayed, and I can't blame it on God because it wasn't God in that sense, right? When I prayed, this time I told my kids, I said, before I go back out there doing what I'm doing again now, after I got off a lockup and everything, and it dawned on me, y'all, I came off of home monitor March the 28th. March, April, May. I've been off of home monitor for 2 months now. Look at the freaking hell I've been going through. Now, mind you, it's not a bad thing now because God will take us through certain things. I don't like it, but I know from what he's been showing me each time now is bigger and better things that's coming. So I'm going to say this with that building for the clients. That's all this landlord got to do. The owner, if the building is not up to code, you get it up to code. Now, if you are a multimillionaire and you have a property that you know need extra work on it for people to be there, fix it up. Fix it. You going home to a beautiful place, you enjoying your life, but you want to see the low to moderate income people be still slum-like. My housing program and what I do is fixed up more like if you are home. And it's not to keep you long because it's not to make you real comfortable where you think this is a permanent place. No. But I want you to be just as comfortable as me. If you being there. Where the kids can go in the yard, they can play, they can be on the slide, they can do this, they can do that. And they was told they can't play in that area no more. I didn't say that. Somebody else said it. Why would I say it when I'm over there fixing it up so they had somewhere to play? But this how they playing with my clients' intelligence. So one of the females said the day that I normally, me and her have our little up and down. She said, oh, he remind me so much of my mother. Didn't I tell you was like my daughter? So I already know. And it's a grown woman. And y'all are bucking. Y'all are bucking. When you got somebody that's trying to help you to become a more productive, responsible person, and you want to stay stuck, did I not tell y'all when y'all first sat down with me, you the one got to do the work to change. You got to do it. And don't get mad, right? When you coming into the temporary housing program, then you're going to turn around and get mad when somebody trying to teach you how to live a better way of life. You bucking. So do y'all realize you only helping me to see why your own mom and daddy don't want y'all in their house? Do you realize it? And the sad part about it, your own mom and daddy have grandbabies because of you. They don't want to bring up grandbabies in the house. And please don't tell me you're over 40 and you still acting like you 16, 17. Please don't tell me you're over 30 and you still acting like you 12 and 14. But you grown with children. reaching out for help. Because then as an adult, you're supposed to be responsible, mainly when you have children. Don't fight the funk with me. You ain't got to fight the funk. Stop making me your problem. Stop listening to other people say, oh, Mr. D did, Mr. D that. Mr. Steve only trying to help you. That's why he brought you in. And if you come attacking Steve, then I already know this is what you do to your parents. And y'all are grown. And I already know if you come for me, the hell you done took them through. I don't understand. Is it something that they putting in the waters? Is it something that they putting in the food? But I'm just looking at us, and I'm just looking at us destroying us. And it seemed like people's thinking and behaviors is so distraught. And it makes you wonder, is it all worth it? No freaking way in the world I'm going to ask help to help me and then turn around and buck the help. No way in the world. If I'm going to ask somebody to help me, what's up, family? If I'm going to ask somebody to help me and then turn around and buck you. And because I'm so straight and because I'm so forward and because I have confidence in myself, because I have courage in myself, because I have a stature in my life, because I have integrity, a lot of y'all want to turn around and cut my boldness down because I'm not a wishy-washer. I'm not an egg kisser. But you want me to be. And I just try to tell y'all, teach y'all, stand firm on your morals, values, and principles. I can't. I can't be over here. I can't be over here. And I can't be over here. And I can't be over there. I can't be over there. I can't be over there. I'm talking about it one time. Because so many of us are trying to be here and there to please everybody. I already know why we do what we do. But that's not my goal. If you want to be a licker, and kicker, then you do what you do. But I choose not to be that. So don't get mad at me because people want to tell me, well, this what you to do, and this what that to do. But you reached out to me for help, and they're going to tell me what I to do. I ain't saying I can't change. Don't get it wrong. But I'm 63 years old. How far is I'm going to change? I'm 63. I'm 63. I didn't experience a lot over the 63 years. I am 63. If you 40, I got 23 years more of living than you. Well, that don't mean no more. Yes, it does. It mean a lot. Because you can only, look, I'm 63. I'm not 64. I'm not 65. I can't even think like a 65-year-old or 64 when I'm 63. So I have to stay where I'm at. Or I can act a certain way, but then when you're 63 and you have been through a lot in life, and it's not a lot that y'all haven't been through that I might not experience, right? Oh, did y'all hear the word? Experience, knowledge, wisdom. So basically what I'm saying, for a lot of y'all that got more education than me, and I only have a 9th grade education, I'm just saying, don't get this wrong. I only said to show y'all I'm not as dumb as you think I am. Right. Thanks, cuz. Thanks. I can share something right now because I was just looking at what my cousin wrote. I can share something with y'all right now and it'll fly right over your head. Hey, cuz, if a man don't know where he came from, he won't know where he's going. I did our history on our ancestors, cuz, and I went all the way back to the 1600s. And then God took me back to Jeremiah. And God said to Jeremiah, I knew you before the foundation of this world. I put everything in you that I called you to go out and do, Steve Copeland. You heard what I just said, cuz? You heard what I just said, cuz? God said, I knew you before the foundation of this world. I put everything in you that I called you to go back out and do. So basically what he's saying to me, at one time, I was in his presence. So if you don't know where you came from, you won't know where you're going. You can go back to Jacob and Judah and Josephiah and Nesaphiah and all of them, and you can go back to the tribe of Israel, the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Lee. You can go back there, but he told me before I put you in your mama's womb, before your daddy put the sperm, nah. See, I ain't got to do like y'all. Because he took me at some point in my life, I was in his presence in the spirit before he put me in this human body. So if I don't know where I came from, where am I going? So I don't have a sense of direction in life. So when y'all hear me say stuff like, the Holy Spirit told me to do this, the Holy Spirit told me to do that, I'm only going back to who knew me before he put me in my mother's womb. And he's the one that put everything in me that he called me to go back out into the streets to do. Godfrey, Godfrey Campbell, Martin Luther King. No, what's his name? Mary Max. And then let me go a little bit deeper with you, right, too. Now, check this out. And I might have jacked his name up, but please forgive me, y'all. I guess Elijah Muhammad. Prophet. Right? So please don't, because I'm not a Muslim. But what I did, I was talking to this Muslim guy. And I'm going to show y'all this, because none of y'all probably thought about it. What did God see so favorable in him, right? That he used him to, I'm going to say, be an example for his people. So I wanted to know, why did God favor him? See, y'all don't look at stuff like that. So it took me back to, I believe he had lost his parents and stuff like that. So he was more like a lonely kid, blah, blah, blah. And I could be wrong now, but from what I got, that God used him, you know, because God normally uses us in making us and building us much stronger to go back out and do work for him. And this is what I learned. Now, please don't get me wrong, right? Because if I'm saying it wrong, forgive me. Because y'all that basically understand, like Elijah Muhammad, or because I get him mixed up with one that's, you know, but I'm just saying for some of y'all that's into that, if I'm kind of saying it wrong, I'm just saying, I mean, because y'all know better, I'm just saying what was revealed to me, because I wanted to know, in a sense, why did God favor him? For him to become such a legend or authority figure. You know what I mean? And that's how I do. Why did God use like Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, you know, or Gandhi, for whatever your religion may be? It just, for me, I like to know on a personal note, what did God see in him? What did God see like the word, which became the spoken word? See, y'all gonna miss it, but watch what I do. The spoken word, which became the written word, had become the living, breathing word. Do you know what I just said? The spoken word God spoke. His spirit hovered through the universe. And it was words that came out of that spirit. Then you got the prophets and all of them that we read about. Became the written word. So the spoken word that became the written word had become the living, breathing word. Jesus Christ. Now, y'all might not see that, but that was the transformation he started showing me and others like me. I know. Come on, bro. Come on. And that's what I loved about DMX. Because the thing that got me, because I knew he was spiritually inclined. I knew. And I knew he was trying to find his way. And be honest, when he got clean and he started gaining weight and stuff, I was trying to reach out to him. At back then, before certain things happened. I was trying to reach out to him because I understood his journey and everything, you know what I mean? And then when he slipped back, I was trying to reach out to him because, one, I know when you're around a lot of people and they're doing a lot of old or practicing certain behaviors, even though you might not want to be a part of it, if you're not careful, you will slip up. That's why, for me, as a recovering addict with 32 years, I had to change people, places, and things. Even my family. I got high with my family. So when I first got clean, I had to remove myself from around my family. I will pop up now and then because, you know what I mean? To see like my cousins, the ones that I used to drink with and get high with and stuff like that. But I couldn't be around them too long. And right now to this day, with 32 years clean, now my nieces and nephews, they ain't using in that sense as far as like we did with the, but for me, I have to watch who I come around or who I be around. So a lot of the stuff, when I tell y'all I used to do, I don't do no more. And Rodney, my cousin over here, Corey, I meant to send you something the other day. I was looking for you too, because I was just running through some stuff and I wanted to reach out to you too. But I forgot what it was now. I'm older. But and it was more like I believe towards DMX and some of the rappers and everything that you deal with, that So I believe it was more like that. Now, I know you know him. Corey. Maurice Thomas. Maurice Thompson from Bamboo Jump Street or Jump Street. That's the guy that I seen DMX with. And matter of fact, he knows Pinky. He know Pinky. And Ray Copeland. I mean, that's DMX uncle. But look, I'm trying to get his name right, but you know who I'm talking about. Because that's the one that opened up, I think he got about 9 youth centers. Maurice Thompson, I'm trying to make sure I say it right. He's supposed to come to Baltimore City to help me open up the multi-purpose centers for inner city youth. Because he got about 8 or 9 of them, and he told me he got one overseas too, in another country. And that's Wendy Williams' cousin too. But now we hit each other up from time to time. But now his goal is to come to Baltimore City. And when I get ready to do that in that area with the multipurpose center, I am going to reach out to him because I know that's his specialty. And he just opened up one in the mall some months ago. But now he know a lot of old school rappers and he know a lot of the new, I'm going to say entertainment wise, but music and all that. And be honest with you, cuz, I was going to try to reach out to him so he could talk with Oprah Winfrey and talk with like Russell Simmons, right? I don't know, I seen something about Russell Simmons. I don't think he passed. But anyway, I was going to, I probably still will. 9 times out of 10 I am when that time comes. Yeah, yeah. Because the goal is I wanted him to reach out to like Oprah Winfrey. I wanted him to reach out to them because I want them to get in more, invest in what I'm doing in Baltimore City to help rebuild the back up in Baltimore City. I wish I could reach Monique. She's supposed to got that $50 million from whatever lawsuit she had. I was trying, people like her, I was trying to get them to invest back in Baltimore City. But now that I'm doing the housing, see, y'all hear where I'm at. Y'all hear where I'm at. So it's just the temporary housing part. But I got people, when I move to the other side of it, and it might be time for me to go. I'm not sure with the temporary part. Because it seems like I'm running into trouble with this, right? To move to that next level of dealing more in the rehabbing and revitalizing houses. And we talking about blocks. I'm not just talking about one house. Now, I would do a house just to flip it because I know 2, is good to have your own money. But 2, I'll look for people like Kevin Plank. I reach out to people like Kevin Plank to invest money back into Baltimore City. I will look for people like Chuck Paterakis to invest in money back into Baltimore City. And I'm talking about in the rebuilding, the rehabbing and revitalizing houses. So y'all don't hear me talk about that a lot because I've been focusing more on right now preparing the temporary clients for the permanent housing part. So once we start rehabbing, and I'm just saying for myself, once I start rehabbing and revitalizing houses, you want to make sure you have clients to put them in. That's what me and another one of my investors was talking about. Harry Mead, I'm not trying to be smart, bro, but this is where me and you supposed to be going. I ain't even messing with you, bro. You screwed up. This is where me and you, Harry Mead, supposed to be going. And I thank God I did not introduce you to my other investors. I thank God. And I believe it was God to reveal you actually to me. Because you the one, Harry Mead, that said, let's sit together and do a corporation. Now understand, listen to what I'm saying, y'all, because I don't want to lose you. With my temporary housing program, I can hire your company to come in and servicing the clients. If you're licensed, if you certified, because you are the professional when it comes to the services, the wraparound services that they need. I just need you to bring your skills. That's all. And I'll provide the clients. That's all I'm doing. So if you don't take the time out to get to know, man, come on. Come on, cuz I just happened to look down at your stuff. Little Zane, I think I think that was the reason too why I was trying to reach out to you. But you know I'm older. But I was trying to reach out to you so that I can get to know more of the people that we got that got money and want to invest their money. That want to invest their money. Because that's what I need. When I tell people what I do, I look for business partners, sponsors, and investors. When your money, and let me say this to a lot of y'all that got millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in the bank is using your money to profit off it too. So my thing is invested in what we're doing. Because if you invest, say like $10 million into a project, right? And you want a certain percentage, we pay you the percentage. And if you want to keep the 10 million, for us to keep moving, that's what you do. Because your money is making money for you. Then if it gets to the point that you want your money out of that, you want to pull your money out of that, we can just pull your money back. And guess what, cuz you heard what I just said? I ain't got no personal experience in that. I'm just talking. But when I say I don't have no personal experience in that, that's business. It's just getting people together to actually put up the type of funding. And know why I can say that too, cuz? Because I had a 5.4 million for 30 units of Park Heights. It was another melanated black guy that was playing with the money while playing with the paperwork. So my lenders, which was actually brokers, told me to sit still, Steve, while we work on his credit score, to get his credit score up so they can send the paperwork to these other brokers or lenders that they was working with, right, to give us the money, to give me the money so we could actually do the work. So that's where I came in on the side of the broker, because now I'm contracting you once we get the money to do the work. So you would have to give me a percentage of that contract. Hey, cuz, you got me? You get what I just said? So a lot of y'all, and it's not being smart, when you want to call me and talk about Bitacon, Bitacon, and bid off somebody, right? And your money is there and it's just sitting. And whatever interest you earn, you're not getting a check on it to put it somewhere else. It's just still sitting there for them to add extra money. I mean, for them to make an extra profit off you, off of your money that's just sitting. So that's why I say come and invest your money. Because each month, we can write you a check off. Say like, and I said 10 million, but I'm just using that as an example. But yeah, if you got the 10 million, come on. Because of what we're going to do to rehab and revitalize. With 10 million, you can do a lot of work, do a lot of stuff. And when I say that, look at the land that we have in Baltimore City. What I'm trying to get to is look at the vacant communities and properties that's sitting around. And the guy, he stepped down, but he just he built like communities and commercial centers. And to keep honest, and I want to try to make it kind of simple right now, what I'm getting ready to say. When you want to build back up for that Black Wall Street, you build up in the Black community where the money can stay in the community. It won't keep going out. So when you have shopping malls and when you have stores, when you have schools, and when you having stuff for the Black community and you spending back in your community, the money is what goes into the community to build up in the community. Because you're keeping the money in. Then when you have the inner city, a lot of the money or the stuff that they're doing in the inner city to build in the inner city doesn't go back into the inner city communities. And it should go a lot to your low to moderate income people. So they taking it out. They taking it out. They taking it out. And the best way I can tell y'all on this, now watch where I go, cousin. I was at the budget meeting for Brandon Scott for the 2024, but I was there in 2023, right? The budget meeting was March 11th. I went to. March the 12th, I went to prison. But the budget meeting on March 11th, 2023, 4.2 billion. I heard Brandon Scott, I'm talking about the mayor, talk about everywhere that money was going to go, cuz, except for in the inner city. A lot of y'all don't know. Most of the funding, the mayor's funding that comes into the inner city goes into your counties too. It goes into more of your conservative areas. But they will make you think they're doing a lot in the inner city. Now, this where my business coming at to help build. up in the inner city. When I heard that, I raised my hand. I said, Brandon Scott. Now, mind you, cuz I'm talking about rehabbing and revitalizing houses for the low to moderate income people. Now, gentrification in Baltimore City. They got houses now on Linden and North Avenue, $350,000. Who making under $40,000 a year can afford them houses? That's what you call gentrification. So what you do, you start wiping them out. And I'll ask y'all stuff like this because the low to moderate income people cannot afford it. All right, thanks, bro. Thanks, good. It's time. I'm telling you, what God is doing is just amazing. Now, watch this, y'all. And I don't want to put her out like that, but she already rehabbing and revitalizing houses in the inner city communities. But I don't want to put her name out because she get millions and millions, and I don't want to make her look bad. But look, people, you cannot replace, and I said this somewhere else, you cannot replace all the poor people. Hey, Keith, baby, you cannot replace all the poor people. So what you do, you set them up. Then you got the powder to start wiping them out because you can't replace them all. It's called gentrification. And I tell everybody, when you hear that word gentrification, genocide comes with gentrification. I didn't know this, Keith, since you came up until Joyce told me. I didn't know that they was paying the inner city people money, like $15,000 to move to another city. I ain't know till Joyce told me that. Now, this was years ago because I know they're doing the gentrification. I mean, genocide. But she told me, too, they started giving the inner city people money to move to so they can start putting in the $500,000 houses. So our goal with some of the people that I deal with is to slow it down. Come on, Keith, because I know this up your street, bro. Because I know this up Keith Street. He one of the ones that fight around for the people, too. He ran for mayor, what, about 2 times, Keith? Twice, I think. But he's like a people person. I am, too, but wait a minute, Keith. I'm trying to get the words right. I'm trying to think of what it's called. Power. It's like a power to the people. No, let me straighten this out. Keith a goddamn rebel. He trying to build an army. That's my man. I like picking with him. But Keith is more like a rebel. He's a hardcore. And that's what I love about Keith, because we all have our own lane, family, of how we do things. Then you have, I'm trying to get her name together. Oh my God. Give me a name, Keith. A revolutionary. I was trying to get it. Keith don't play. I'm telling y'all, Keith don't play. He don't play. And he has his own style for the way he do things. Like with me, I'm called the big my boy black dude. So Keith has his way of coming, right? Then we have what's her name? God dang it. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Miss Bazemore is another one. Christine Flowers, I don't know what to say about her, but that's the homeless advocate. That's who I got my name from, Keith. She called me a homeless advocate. She gave me that title. Her name right there, Keith. She ran for mayor too. Yolanda Pulley. That makes sure I'm saying it right. because I might be, yeah. Yolanda Pulley is another one that fights for the people. She's for the people, definitely. You know. Um Yolanda, Keith, Ralph Johnson is kind of mellowed, but Ralph Johnson reached out to me to help him in it. Pulley, yeah, that's what I was trying to get it out. I got it now. Pulley, and I'm gonna tell you something about Lady J, right? I gotta talk about Lady J, and I gotta talk about uh Rodriguez, right? The reason why I'm saying I gotta talk about Lady J and Rodriguez, right, Dr. J. It was a lot of people going around Baltimore City threatening to take me out. A lot of people because of the stuff we was doing, right? When I heard them going after like Lady J, and I heard them going after wait a minute, because we was you know at one point when our spy plane came with Rodriguez, when I heard them threaten them the way they was threatening me, I was like, good. Man, it takes it off of me some. Y'all don't realize when you got people like us that really represent our people, we come across you, hey Keith, and even with my cousin, I just want to say this. This young lady supposed to have came with me to start doing my broadcast, like making sure we produce the show, do the production. Not just only this, say like with Lady J, if you want to come on at a certain time, that's how it can be set up. That's how it can be set up. If you want to come on like Saturdays when I do my teen talk show, I just have to get some people to come in and host it because it's Saturdays at 2. But when that time comes, we're going to start doing that again. But right now, it's just I'm doing a lot of other things. I have to take certain steps, you know. But yeah, right now, and I'm gonna get ready to go because I'm looking at the time, and I want to grab something, maybe to munch on or eat or something, but I don't want to eat too late. I purchased this building, Keith. I call myself teaming up with somebody, right? And I did not know, and I heard it today, that I know when, dang, I'm trying to watch calling names. All right, when my friend, my other partner, teamed up with this person, he was just going to do for all men. But it's just the way certain things went down with this building, right? She wanted to add women, so he introduced her to me because I do women and children. Women and children too. So he had her introduced to me. So I came in with my housing program, but to make it short, I knew the building when What's Your Name got it was boarded up. And he started taking all the boards and everything back off the window and stuff and trying to fix it up inside. But I never knew why they shut the building down. It was called the Animal House. It was called the Animal House. And not only that, I think they shut it down because of the activities and stuff like that that was going on in this building. The elevator in this building is down. So basically they shut it down. She got the building. He started working in the building. I came in the building and I kept telling them, the elevator need fixed. The elevator need fixed. The elevator need fixed. Me and one of the guys in my building, he got the elevator up and running. I brought I brought what it needed for us to get it running, but we couldn't get the door. We didn't have a key to open the door so we can get up and down. So anyway, I'm talking to the person, letting them know what's what. I'm gonna send somebody out to do this and do that. Nobody comes out. Well, anyway, I did not know that the building got shut down and it's not supposed to be up. And I got my clients and everything in this building. Now, mind you, this is the first time I heard it today. When this crazy lady gonna call herself calling the police, I called them anyway because one, I ain't want no bull jump. But anyway, I'm learning today that it's actually supposed to be shut down. So I got my homeless and less fortunate people in there. And I done took their money, you know, they paying their space, and I gave it to her. Because that's the way our deal is. It's a verbal agreement, right? Which nothing is wrong with that. But in order for her, because it's verbal, in order for her to actually get me out the building, she has to evict me. In order for her to get my clients out the building, she has to evict them. And then you turned around and had us come into a building that's actually not supposed to be operational until y'all get that building up to code. And cuz check this out. And I keep saying it. Bill Henry, Councilman Bill Henry, and a guy named Jason, they came together and created this bill for slumlords to become licensed landlords. So that meant you had a year. If you was found with a violation and stuff like that, you had a year. Ooh, I got it. Cuz you got a year to have your building up to code or you will lose your license. The building was down. And probably after that, because they shut it down, they call themselves opening back up. And that's why they let me in. And it just hit me just now. Now, when we had HUD housing in there and everything too, they was in the courtroom. HUD housing said they needed more time to get their stuff up to code because they have a lot of stuff, right? Housing wise. But now a little bit more is coming into mind about what this is all about. And like I tried to tell this person, I said, you are playing with the wrong person. Because I kept trying to tell them that Community United and us was the ones that helped Bill Henry and them get that slumlord landlord bill passed. Watch what I get ready to say now. Because some of the houses had lead, had mold, or it had rat droppings or mouse droppings. You know what this woman said up there and she said? She don't want no children in that building. She familiar with it. I'll do adults. She familiar with it. And all of this is starting to click now, cuz. Now all of a sudden, you know I do women and children. But now you don't want kids in the building. Oh, you telling on yourself, sis. You telling a lot on yourself. That's why she says she don't want me in the building. You telling on yourself, baby, and I told you. As a human rights advocate and dealing with Communities United, I know she looked me up. She looked me up because she know the work I do, and I'm going to tell y'all why she did that too. She looked me up because Communities United fights for fair housing and fair wages. So I already know that housing, if they start discriminating against you, just like her doing with the kids, she are discriminating against the kids. As a human rights advocate too, I see it. But now she's running off at her mouth. I don't want no children in the building. You read it. You already know. You already know from that code thing. You already know. So now I'm going to reach out to Bill Henry. You want to play me? You want to play me? I told you you're playing with the wrong person. You playing with the bald head, big mouth black dude. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. So you actually set me up. And then gonna say I never paid you. Mm-hmm. 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 And then one of my clients, right, cuz hand me her $600 to give to Deborah. Oop, I didn't mean to say that name. But to give to her, right? I handed to her. And she sat up there and told stupid dums that I never gave her no money. And the white lady came back and said, yes, you did. Yes, he did, because I watched him hand it right to you. And she told her, you can get out. That's my client. And the dums that's with me, y'all, never paid attention. And she watched me hand her money. So what she does, right? You in my business. Right, cuz see what I do, that's just like me renting a regular house to do my business out of, right? I talk to the landlord, I let the landlord know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. If he let me, if he rent the property to me, I just make sure the landlord get his rent. And I pay my gas and electric bill. So that's how they go. That's how they go. Same with me and her. Same with me and her, right? Now, why would I collect their money and don't give it to you knowing that if I don't pay you for being here, you can actually ask us to leave? So I pay you, but you telling them, no, he's not. Uh-huh. You said you ain't want no paper trail. Now I know why. Because that building wasn't supposed to be operational. See how our own people play us? And y'all okay with that? Y'all see how our own people play us? And that's why I tell people, and it's not being smart, family. I'll tell you, if you robbing Peter to pay Paul, when I say stuff like that, if you stealing from the poor to gain, stay away from me. I don't want to see it. Don't let me see it. That's all I'm saying. Because I know people have their own special way of making money. That's you. But the thing is, if you're robbing Peter, which I'm talking about our people, to fatten up your pocket, stay away from me. I don't want to see the crooked stuff. But I'm always made out to be the crook. By every time I bring somebody in and it just hit me, that's a crook. They flip it. They flip-flop it. But look, that's not how I roll. And I'm saying it, check it out, check it out, check it out. If I tell you I have 32 years clean, I'm not trying to practice that old way of life. I'm not trying to go around, rob, steal, take, hustle, do what I used to do. I'm not. And then if I tell you my journey is spiritual, that's because I know better. I know the difference now between right and wrong. You could not tell me what I was doing back in the days. And since you right there, remember what I said the other day, and I still don't remember my cousin. I still don't. Back in the days when I was doing what I was doing and he was in Baltimore City and he had the pit bulls, and my friend Chip told me, he said, Steve, you don't remember then when he used to rob people with the dogs? With the pit bulls. All right, cuz I am because you popped on me. You popped in my head the other day. So I'm only sharing this with y'all, right? So for a lot of y'all that like to challenge me, I'm not for that today. I'm not for it. My thing is, if you want to go to prison and if you like being in prison, go. Bite. Cause I don't know why in your mind. I don't know why would you want to deliberately do some stuff to put you on that big old prison slave camp? And just for you to think like that helps me to see you ain't no you're not out of that. What our ancestors went through, that prison slave man mentality, that is one of the biggest slave plants. Thanks, Amaya. If I jacked up your name, I apologize. Um, the way because I kept bragging about it too, and I'm still not going to move from it. Where I lost 2 transitional houses due to some crutball stuff with the Eastern District Police Department, right? And I share this too because look at this right here. I lost 2 houses, and I'm in an apartment complex, right? So I see the blessing. Don't get it wrong. I see the blessing. But what I'm experiencing basically was happening right now, but it was with the Eastern District Police Department. I'm seeing it repeats itself again. But this time, it's with people that I was looking at as business partners. The first time, the police officer charged me with home invasion, burglary, armed robbery, assault, and it was co-home invasion. It was just some added stuff that went up to make 14 charges, right? And I kept saying this, how can I do a home invasion on my own business and rental property? Couldn't nobody answer. How can I do a home invasion on a place that I have a lease on and burglary? And then the guy that he said I was supposed to had assaulted was my freaking nephew. All right, cuz he created. And this guy knew that was my housing program. His commander in chief knew it was my housing program. All of them at the police district knew it was my housing program because I told them the type of people that I work with, right? So if I ever called you, which they supposed to put on the board to come out to this house, they know I deal with people that have mental issues, that need help. So why, when I will call you out to help me and I tell you what the type of people I'm working with, but you'll turn around and come for me every time? They never helped me, and they never helped the clients that I needed them to help me with. So it's repeating itself again. That's why I didn't want to go down there and talk with the police. I didn't want to talk with them because this is what I understand, Amai, Tracy, Lynn. I can tell you everything I do, why I do what I do. And what I talk about is more like solutions. And what they talk about is laws, is what the laws you might have broke. That's why when I look at our lawmakers, watch where I go. Our politicians are good with creating laws, but they're not good with creating solutions. And y'all be so caught up with it. It's normally people like me and the people I deal with. Once y'all present the laws, our goal is to teach people how to obey by the laws. So you won't do nothing to get yourself in prison or, hurt or. So I didn't understand it early on. So that was the reason why, for me, and I'm on 3 years probation because of the bull jump. I did not want to come in contact with the police department. I didn't want to come in contact because I know this with me. And the same way today, when I kept talking to the police, he had to shut me down because he didn't understand a word I was saying. And I asked him, I said, why you keep over talking me when I'm only trying to explain certain things? But then it hit me. They trying to see what laws you broke. And he couldn't really find too much of anything because I was showing him, this is my business right here. But what they was doing their research, because in their mindset and the way this lady was doing it, she was making it seem like I'm in there for no reason. Now, mind you, I wasn't catching all this at first till I heard somebody say the building wasn't supposed to be open because it was shut down because of violation codes. I was like, that's why you came the way you did. Learn to listen and listen to learn. If you always talking, you're not listening. And it was meant for me to see this today. It was meant. So if anybody, and I know y'all probably is, because y'all couldn't wait for me to come on. There you go. There you go. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation show. And the next time y'all want to tell about me being on social media, this is my Restream broadcast network. Make sure you tell the judge that. Make sure you let them know he's a community activist. Don't leave that stuff out. It's a reason for why I do what I do. Now, where my other phone at? And I tell y'all, I'm gonna show y'all too, because it's like I can tell y'all something and it'll fly right over your head. I'll tell you this, right? I tell you certain things, and I can show you too. Go run off at your mouth again about me being on my talk show. Now you make sure you tell the judge, remind the judge that he has a talk show. Okay? Make sure you tell the judge, remind the judge that he has a talk show. Now, because I don't want you to go and just embarrass yourself. You see that X right there? You see that X? You see that X? You see that X? Come on. You see the X? So when you go and you tell the judge that he has something needed thought about it, he on his platform, he on his social media broadcast network. Because you ain't gonna tell him that. And it ain't that I'm talking about you. This is the Couch Conversation show. Oh, I gotta hit that button for you to hear me. Because you ain't gonna tell him that. And it ain't that I'm talking about you. This is the Couch Conversation show. You see that? Because my thing is, when you do it, if you don't tell them right, then I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them. Because y'all so busy trying to make me look bad, then you want to come on my show and talk trash. Do I got 2 hours in this? Wait a minute, because this is delaying. This delay. Oh, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. That's not the one I want. But I want to show y'all. Trying to get to my one on YouTube. Come on, come on. That's my girl. That's my girl. But I was trying to get the one on YouTube, y'all, so y'all can see. Now, my eyes got to catch stuff from time to time because y'all know I'm an old man. I'm an old man. I'm an old man. Wait a minute. Let me get to it. Now, this is Twitch. We got Twitter, Twitch. It's just to show y'all so you won't get it confused, right? Or like when you call yourself, he defaming me. No. This is a talk show. Like when you call yourself, he defaming me. No. This is a talk show. And it's about keeping it real. You call yourself, he defaming me. No. This is a talk show. And it's about keeping it real. You call yourself, he defaming me. No. This is a talk show. And it's about keeping it real. You call yourself, he defaming me. No. And that's why the officer told that person too. Basically, what we do on social media, right? Which I learned during my talk show, right? I will say certain names. And if I say your name, that's because you're a part of what I do. But now, if it's somebody that I don't really know, and I'm talking about a certain situation, no, I won't call your name. But if you're a part of whatever I'm dealing with, I can do that. Because it's not defaming you or nothing like that, but I can do that. And that's why a lot of y'all need to understand the point of business and the point of this is my broadcast network where I tell y'all I restream to 8 other platforms. I've been on here for 2.5 hours. I can stay on here all night if I want to. This is my thing. And somebody made a statement about, you ain't supposed to be on social media doing this. How you gonna come on social media and tell somebody what to do on their stuff? I don't get y'all to see when you feel like you can control and run somebody else's stuff. Oh no, that's what I'm not trying to do. I'm just trying to say, that's not what you just said. And that's not being smart. Listen to what you just said. If some people on their shows, right, and I know they talking bad about me because that's what y'all do. And if you talk bad about me, I'm kind of used to it because that's what we do. We do stuff to defame and badmouth other people. But when you coming in my life, keep in mind, when you are in my life and I have experienced something with you, I'm only talking about what I've been through with you. And if you a snake, or if you're doing some crudball stuff, right? On certain cases, yes, I it's not to say your name. So I learned over the years, it's not to say your names. Because I used to call out Brandon Scott and them a lot. I used to call them out a lot. Our politicians and stuff. But my thing is, if you're doing something corrupt wise, and then you get mad because you wrong, and somebody like filming your stuff, that's only our way of showing the evidence of what you said and did. Not being smart. If the young lady is looking at me, she was showing the judge everything in court. Even when people was coming back saying certain things, it was positive stuff. And she was trying to make it seem like, you know, something bad. But everything she showed the judge. She said, I don't see where he's this and that, and what he this and that. You know, like defaming her. I was just talking about what had happened. And I had recorded us because you came to me to ask for help. And whoever convinced you to do that, that wasn't good. Because number one, you came to my business to ask for help. And then going to make it seem like I became a problem for you. Went through it today. Person came to my business. It's like you repeating it, baby, for help. And then want to turn around and made me out to be your problem. And I want you to do it again. Because if you thought they got away with something, that's all you got to do is tell them. That's all you got to do is say, Mr. Copeland have a transitional house where he help people with this and that. And then see what you're doing, you telling how you reached out for help. But what you're saying too, when you do it, it's like I reached out for help, but help hurted me. And I don't think a lot of people realize how you doing it. That's why a lot of times I can just say this right here. Your Honor, I don't even know that person. And that's what I say a lot of times. Because you got to understand, I don't know you. I don't. And what a lot of people have a tendency of doing, Rodney, you want to make it seem like I'm your problem. And I know for a fact I'm not your problem. You can badmouth me. You can talk about me all you want. You're not my son. You're not my daughters. You're not my nieces. You're not my nephews. You don't know me, but you reached out to me to help you from a certain situation. And then you trying to make your help look horrible. That's why a lot of times I don't have to say nothing, because people will sit back and they will tell on themselves. And keep in mind, when you got a house full of people, not full, but when you got a lot of people in the house and you got about 2 or 3 that's being rebellious and complaining and the he say, the she say, everybody not a part of that. But what you do when you open up your mouth with the he say, she say, you showing them that you are the problem, not this one. And a judge can see it and realize this man got, say, like 15 families or 10 families in the building. And you got 2 of them just steady complaining, but none of the other ones. So who's the problem? Now, you might get some that might jump on their side. But see, a lot of times, check this out, because of what I do, and I'm in front of a judge because you're trying to make a complaint, I just sit there and shut my mouth. I'll do just like this. And the moment the judge say, Mr. Copeland, you got something you want to say? Your Honor, I don't know that person. And the only thing I'm saying, say like if you came to the program, but I only know you, or we might have talked twice, right? More about the business side of stuff. And that's why I'll say I don't know you. Because number one, I didn't date you. I haven't slept around with you. I didn't grow up with you. So I really don't know you. But you'll go and complain about somebody that you don't really know. Like they've been in your life for years and you never catch it. So that's why I'll just sit there and I shut my mouth. Your Honor, I don't know her. Or I don't know him. And then if they say, well, how did y'all come across? Then I have to share about the stuff I do. So you know what you're doing? You putting yourself out. And you might now see the police don't get it too. They don't get it. So the only thing they can go off is what y'all say. He this, he that, he this, he that. And what I'll turn around and do, I'll turn around and yeah, it's time for me to go because I think I'm getting a little sleepy. But I can only tell them what I do, y'all. I was trying to think of what I was trying to say, but other than that, I can only tell them. If we don't have a history with each other and everything, and one of y'all want to be smart and go downtown, well, I'm gonna press charges down here, I'm gonna do this and do that. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. But you gotta understand too. If you say that I took your money, now if I took your money and didn't provide the services, now that's a different thing. But if I took your money and provided the service, how can you say I stole? Come on. If I took your money to bring you in to provide the service, how in the freak can you put your mouth to say he took my money? But are you staying whatever? But he took my money and she said he did. What you say? Guess what? If you press charges, you keep coming up, Devin. You want to say the stupidest stuff. Why don't you say something nice sometimes? Stop coming up just throwing people off. Take your crazy butt to sleep. If they press charges on you, that will violate your probation. I got a court date and you already know, so I know you're gonna remind me. For somebody that, guess what? The judge already threw it out because she couldn't prove nothing. Once I said she was in my housing program. Why do you need protection from somebody that's out to help you? And you remind me, Devin, of some of the people I be dealing with, bro. Start saying something positive. Okay? Start saying something positive. What if you go press charges on somebody, right? And that's what I was asking the officer, right? I said, why y'all believe everything somebody tell y'all as far as they go press charges on you? Now, once you go press charges on somebody, right? They don't know if it's true or not. Because you remember what the police did to me, Devin, since you like to put your mouth in stuff. You know what they did, right? They created false charges. What part you missing, bro? I didn't ask you to argue. I'm just saying, you come up. Why don't you say something nice? You never say nothing nice, Devin. Am I Monster Devin? Because every time you come on my stuff and you know what I do, you never say anything to encourage or motivate. Nothing I say out my mouth. Nothing. Why do you waste your time, bro? Why? You never. And then you don't even come up with your real name. So, Devin, it goes to show how fake and phony you is. See, when you mention certain things, I know who you is. That goes to show me how much a man you is. When you got to jump up and come up on my stuff, and then when you say certain things, you can come up under another name, right? But it's just certain things you say, I know who it is. I know exactly who it is because you will go back to yesteryears and throw it in the day, and that's when I know who's who. You can press charges, but I have to be charged whatever what you charge. I got to be found guilty. So do you understand law? You can go press charges all you want, but are you going to show up in court? And then on top of that, Devin, let's do this one right here. Let's do this one. You're going to go press charges on somebody that you came into their presence. You came into their space. And it's not to say that that person did anything. You said the other day you came on the offer to get a lady her money. See what I'm saying, bro? See what I'm saying, Devin? You see what I'm saying? I gave the one that called herself doing what she was doing. I held that room for her for 2 weeks. And I still gave her money. I had another female that supposed to came in with her boys. And she gave me $50 to do the work to get her into an apartment. But she wanted her money back because she gonna go sleep in a shelter. So I sent her $50 back. You didn't offer to send her money back. No, I let you down because once I realized it, you never, keep in mind, you never say nothing positive. I'm gonna get ready to hang this. I'm getting ready to come off of this. I don't mind you coming up, but when you come up, you have a tendency of talking about my story. You don't talk about my story. My story is my story, Devin. So why do you need to come up and mimic my stuff? You said you came up on this page and wished you a happy birthday and thought we were cool. Devin, my birthday was February the 20th. So what you talking about? You came up on February the 20th and wished me happy birthday. That's why I said, Devin, I don't have no problem with you coming up on my page. I don't have a problem with you coming up, Devin, but you can't talk about yourself. That's all I'm saying. If you come up on my page, don't try to mimic everything I say in your conversation. If you're going to come up on somebody's stuff, talk about Devin. Talk about what Devin at, what Devin doing, how's life, blah, 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 blah. That's all I'm telling you, bro. Hey, Devin, you know, you came up on my page many times since my birthday. You came up on other names. Stop playing, bro. Stop playing. Now you go on back saying you don't remember. You came up. Wait a minute. We had a panel and was on for 3 hours. But look, you, Every time, Devin, please pay attention, because Jeff is trying to come up, right? You have a tendency of coming on my page rather than you talking about Devin and what Devin is doing. You always have a tendency of bringing up what Steve then talked about. That's all I'm saying. You say, okay, you stuck. Come on, man, don't make me block you. Because if I block you, you ain't going to do nothing but come up under another name. And that's a shame, Devin. I know you only come up and talk about how you work with the homeless population and stuff like that. You don't talk about that. You'll come up and talk about my first marriage. You'll talk about when me and Jesus Christ hung out together. And you never talk about yourself and the great things that you do. But I'll talk about you because you're so busy talking about me that you're not looking at yourself. So I ain't got a problem with that because I know how to look at me and talk about me. You, Devin, if you're going to talk, and I understand, I don't even know what day I'm supposed to go to court for this young lady. Why did you bring that up? You know what I told Powell? Because I think they seen it somewhere. See, what you have a tendency of doing, you will go on, what's that, site page where you could check people out. You'll search me out and tell me my court dates and everything. Why do you track me down like that? That's why, I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what the date is. I just know the judge said that, do you know you have a court date for such and such and such? I just know what the judge said. And you already know it. He over here repeating everything I said. That's how he get his yang off. He over there repeating everything I said. You said. Nobody else said nothing like that but you. Because you listening to me, which is fine. But you want to have a conversation with me about that really, I was talking about something that happened before that somebody else is trying to play with. And did I not say, this is the Steve Copeland Conversation Show? The Steve Copeland Conversation Show? Because that person mentioned something to the police about me coming on this. And I started saying, the Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation, the Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation, the Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show, the big mouth boy black dude. So this is what the police was telling them, because I overheard it. He got the right to share whatever he wants. So that's why I said, why you want to repeat back. You don't have to. This is stuff you do all the time. I'm only sharing my experience. I'm only sharing from something that happened earlier. And then on top of that, I didn't mention this because they seen what happened before. They might have started mimicking this. And on top of that, for me saying what I'm saying, and I need you to repeat this, how do I know if I'm not being set up? Remember I said, I said, now I seen what happened before. And it's like it's repeating itself again. And not only that, remember the part I said about what happened to me 2 years ago, being locked up with the police department. And I see it repeating itself. But this time it's with courage and empower me. When I'm saying people is coming up against me, you want to remind me of such and such rather than encouraging me, empower me, and motivating me. You don't have to remind me like you fucked up again. Because that's what we do sometimes, and that's what y'all have a tendency of doing with me. No matter how I say that my goal is to help people improve their lives and stuff like that, I never once seen you say, continue doing what you're doing, bro. Things happen such as, just little words of encouragement. But it's always like you nail it. And that's how you do, Devin. That's just like, right, if I was sitting here doing this, and you pop up, it's going to go, it's going to turn me off. I'm playing, Devin. You know you my boy. You know I like picking with you, bro. That's why I be saying little things like, we never say stuff to motivate and encourage each other. And I'm not talking about y'all that do. I'm not doing that. It's just that I've been knowing Devin for a while. I've been knowing Devin for a while. But he has a tendency, he'll come on your stuff under other names, right? And then he'll throw little stuff out to try to knock you down. And certain things he throw out, he'll say it, and I realize who it is when he under another name. And then I'll call his real name out. And this supposed to be another God-fearing man. This how we play with people. Because that's how I met him. He's the type that gives back to the community and everything, and deal with the homeless people too. So rather than him sharing, mainly for what I shared about what happened with the building stuff. So rather than him sharing something positive or whatever positive information he might have, he'll try to tear down what you say, what I say, because he don't do that with everybody. That's why I be saying it's sad how we treat each other. And for some of us, it's like we get so much pleasure out of it. But then quick to turn around and say, the white man. And it's us. And that's what I had to realize. And it's not being smart. It's us that hurt us the most. And it's like we're scared to come together to fight for what is right. I try not to figure it out, y'all. I try not to. Because I'm like, why? And in my mind, I be wanting to go like, why this, why that, why this, why? I try not to figure it out. And the thing that gets me too, some of this that I see now in life, I remember at one point, I never paid attention. So when I hear stuff like back in the days when people used to say, we need to wake up and stuff like that, and your eyes are not open, and you could not tell me that my eyes was not open. But I'm like, ugh, because of what I see today, and it makes me cry a lot. What I see today, and I'm not saying it to go blind, and I'm not saying it or nothing like that. In that sense, y'all, sometimes I wish I didn't see what I see today. It hurts. And the reason why I said it hurts, and it's not that it hurts me. I feel sorry for the people that's being hurt. I feel sorry for the pain and suffering that I watch our people go through. And that's why when y'all hear me say sometimes I wish my eyes wasn't open. I ain't trying to be smart. I just wished I didn't see what I see. But the thing is, because I see what I see, it's like what can we do to make it better? Help people. And I can't do it by myself. I can't. And when I come on here and I yell and I scream and I'm hurting, and people don't realize he yelling and he's screaming because he hurting for his brothers and sisters. And I can tell y'all, this not my families. They're not my grandbabies. But they like my family. They like my grandbabies. And every time I hear somebody say I'm robbing them or I'm taking from them, this shit just cuts me, man. My box truck in the yard broke. I got to get it out the yard. But I'm a thief. My green Armada in the shop. I'm taking the people money and spending it on my stuff. My window busted. If I was taking people money, why my window not fixed? If I was taking money, why I had no ignition there, a new ignition switch in there? It's sitting in the yard, over at the building. But I'm taking people money. My shit will be fixed. I probably would have me a brand new car by now. But I'm taking people money. This what the people that's giving me their money and I'm giving their receipts for. I'm catching a freaking lift. But I'm taking people money. Back and forth. And that's all y'all can find to say about me. He's a scammer. He doing this. He doing that. I looked in the refrigerator to get me one of my Diet Pepsis down at the building. They done drunk all my stuff. Ain't nobody replace it. You must have jumped off, Devin, because you ain't say nothing. Stop doing it, bro. Sometimes, I need motivation. I need encouragement. Because sometimes it can drain you. I need to hear some words of encouragement. Motivate me, empower me. When you hear me say stuff like, I just want to give up. I just want to stop this. I just want to stop that. I wish it was, to me, as easy as it is as I watch some people get into certain things and they just stop. They just stop. I am looking for a reason to just stop. But I feel like God ain't going to let me. Or let me be comfortable if I turn around and stop. Some of y'all might have did it and found the reason not to do it no more. But it's like a lot of us fight, and I keep saying it, a lot of us fight for our homeless and less fortunate people. And I'm going to do this right here. What I love about the Republican Party, and I said it before, their journey is spiritual. Their journey is to help our low to moderate people to become more independent. That's what attracted me to the Republican Party. And maybe that's why Donald Trump doing what he's doing, is cutting out a lot of these government programs to help people to be more independent. But what programs do you have that's teaching them how to be more independent? See, that's the part with the Republican Party that backed me up, because they mean well. They mean well, but it's no resolution. It's if we cut out this, we cut out that, we cut out this, what it's going to do, it is going to force some people to become more independent, where they won't have to rely on the state and the government. I say it all the time. That is what strengthening the community is all about. That is what the wraparound services is all about. That's where the apprenticeship programs and all that come in place, where if you're only making, say, like 15, 20 hours an hour, I'm just using that as an example, where we can get you in a professional type, career type job, where that job will actually pay for your life insurance. I mean, you might have to put a little money into it, you get me, but that's the job. Life insurance, health insurance, 501k or 401k, I said 501, 501k, all of this type of stuff, right? And the only reason why I'm saying that, because that's the goal in helping people that's looking for handouts to become more independent and reliable for themselves. And when you hear me say, I got a ninth grade education, I came out of school in the 10th grade. I did. I really did. I started truck driving at 21. I retired at 58. All of my children went to college. Okay? So I know what you can do. I know the type of income that you need to provide for your family. You can do it with the education, and I'm telling you now, you can do it without. So when you want to come here and because you got your master's, because you got your CHD and all that type of stuff, that's fine and dandy, but I got some life experience behind it. And I made it more money when I was working than a lot of y'all with your PhDs and your LPNs and all that. I'm just saying, it's not to be smart. That's a beautiful thing. But then some people, just to let them know, that's why I come in at with the dumbed down stuff, right? To let some people know that you can get into certain professions, you get me, and make real good money too. That's all I be trying to say, y'all. Y'all just want me to say it in a more professional, conservative way, the way I'm supposed to say it, the way you're supposed to speak. That's not how I roll. That's why I'm known as the big mouth boy black dude from the couch conversation. Stop trying to get me to be like you. Well, I would. Remember when you go, that's you. And I say it every time. When you go in your mind and you be like, well, I wouldn't this and that. Can I give you my opinion? I'll be like, ooh. Or can I tell you what I think? Ooh. I'd rather for you to share your experience with me. But I said I was going to stop doing that to people, because your ideas might be great. I can't go wrong with my personal experience. But you could have some great and wonderful ideas. And I said I was going to stop doing it and take it into consideration when people do that. Because your opinion, your ideas, whatever, and I had to realize it matters. It matters only if it matters to you. So with certain words, I just don't use. And when I'm talking about certain things, if I have not experienced it, I won't touch it. I won't touch it. And see, I learned that over the years of getting older. You know, I can only talk about actually what I know or what I have experienced. You get me? So when I hear people share about statistics on overall statistics in America, like how many unalives or deaths might have took place here and stuff like that, right? I can only speak for what's happening in Baltimore City. And then what a person will go back, because I had it happen to me the other day. They will go back on what their research said. And I'll tell you again, I can only speak on from what's happening here. I can't tell you what happened in Africa. I ain't there. I can't tell you what's happening over in Japan. I ain't there. But a lot of y'all want to talk about, hey, well, and the statistics and all of that. And a lot of times what we do certain things to just have a conversation. This is what I was picking with my friend Lady J about, right? She said, I'm gonna go back to college and get some more letters behind my name and blah, 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 blah. So when we talking to like our politicians or the more educated people and stuff like that, she can speak on their language. You know what I said? When we dealing with our elite club and we dealing with the fancy type people, I can wear a freaking outfit in there, will tear up anything they say out their mouth. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: if you're speaking too far over my head, I'm gonna tell you, bring it down. Explain it a little bit better. And what I found out, and please don't get it wrong, when you have a lot of educated people that do research and all that, they search other people's knowledge to get the knowledge that they have. When you tell them to break it down in layman terms, or if you tell them to share like a solution or intervention or break, step, they can't do it because they're always here. And what you do, you'll throw them completely off. And I'll throw you off every time. Because you can talk over my head, but I'm going to bring you down. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. I ain't trying to be there. And I understand you did the work going through college, studying, research, blah, blah, blah. But what I try to do, to be honest, I try to keep it as simple as possible. I just got to the point in life. I ain't got to speak like I'm out of this world or 5.0, 4.0, whatever stuff like that. Very educated, very smart, intellectual. I, I, It's almost 11 o'clock. Now it's time for me to get ready to go to sleep. Try to go to sleep. And I do some work Monday. I'm going to make some phone calls too because I'm getting a lot of phone calls for people to come into the housing program. And I'm telling them, give me a little time, because I got to see what's going to happen here, really, because the work can be done to actually bring the building up to code. That's not a problem. If you got the money and everything to do it, it's just bringing it up to code where you can serve the people. You get me? So if not, um, if from here we do have to move on, right? I do with everybody that I'm working with, and I'm talking about business partners in here, like the pastor, the mental health program, the Zumba, holistic lady. I believe, because it's a lot we had planned for this and we're doing. So this is my team, and this is the way I'm looking at it for us. Not just the clients that I need to help replace, but the services that we're providing have to go with us as well to add on, either way to add on. So right now, it's like a stumbling block. It's like and it came. I mean, it's like, I'm like, what the? But what I do know, this is not the end of what God's plan is. And it's too many people, and I'm talking about clients wise. I ain't talking about none of y'all. I'm talking about the ones that's in strengthen the community, the Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope. And not only them, I got other people that's calling, that's reaching out for help with families. I'm gonna show y'all how people can really, really screw you, and y'all just, and I gotta get off because I'm doing this for my housing program. Like I said, I'm doing this for a reason. That's what I do. I work with the homeless and less fortunate population, and that's what we do at that building. But Miss Deborah, right now, I have some people in the building, but Miss Deborah want them out the building. That's why I said, when did she, say that? Because we had an argument today, and she was talking about how she want the people that's already in the building out the building. So that's why I'm shocked. Yeah, that's why I'm shocked that she told you to call me when I had to call the police and everything today, dealing with Miss Deborah, and she talking about that she didn't give me permission to do stuff out of there, all that bull junk. So I got families down there now. It's a father reaching out to me, and I gotta find somewhere for them to go because she told the police and them that they can't be in there.
That's crazy. So that's not good. That's not good at all. I'm gonna check this out for me. Can I call you back later on tonight? I'm out the street trying to get this little bit of money. All right. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it solid. Yeah, go ahead, bro. I just hate the fact.
Now, he's not the only one that called me today. And I answered their call. And the lady was so positive. And I shared with her what I'm going through at this building. And she said she's at a hotel. And then she said, maybe I gotta go now and get one of those it's like a hotel stay thing. Right. As extended stay. But her demeanor was so positive. I said, oh my God, thank you. Because she wasn't in a place of sorrow. She reached out to me for help. And I told her, I said, do you know how you just inspired me? It was just the way she was talking, like, okay, Mr. Copeland, I understand, like, it's nothing you can do for me right now. I'm going to just have to go and do this and do that and do this. And I said, oh my God, thank you. Because it was so uplifting. This man told me, when he called me, and said he was in a filling station, right? And he ran across her. And she gave him my number. And she gave him my number to call me about coming into the housing program. And that's why I told him, I said, we was down there today and went through what we went through. This is how wishy-washy this person is. And be honest with y'all, I don't care what y'all think. Because a lot of y'all, I'm showing you how some of the people I come across do people. But no matter what, until God changed my heart and changed me, y'all will always have something negative to say. When the proof in the pudding is right in your face for how people come up against me for helping our people, and you will find something right along with them. And I hate to say it in a sense, because when it's always something like positive, we want to flip it into something negative. We want to flip it. And this man, like I said, this man was calling so him and his wife and them can come off the streets. And he was told by her yesterday to call me, basically last night. And he called me today. And I can guarantee you, I want y'all to do it now before I get off of here. Find something to throw at me. Come on. Because sometimes I don't even want to come on and say nothing, because it's like everybody always find a way to blame me. Can show you what's going on right in your face. You'll find a way to twist it. That's why I be like, I can't understand us from time to time. It's like my thinking. It's like, why do we do this? You see it in your face. And why? And I ain't asking, for a lot. That's why when I put up the Cash App or whatever, when I say for a lot, I need y'all to help me with them. That's all I be saying. I need y'all to help me help them. I'm gonna sleep real good tonight. I'll talk with God for a while and ask him to cover me and everything. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna have to make some phone calls. I know that. I know that. I don't know. I know I'm not going down there. I'm not going back to the building, right? But I have to still make sure they okay. You get me? Because the goal is, like I said, I got to start reaching out now back to like homeless services, back to our elected officials. Because the thing is, if the building actually going to be shut back down again, then they do have to get out. They do. And I'm going to have a serious problem if somebody called me and telling me they throwing their stuff out in the street without homeless services and all of them getting involved. Red Cross or whatever, you know what I mean? Because it should not be like that. They did not tell me. Nobody told me. Nobody. And I got pictures of that building with like wood on the windows and stuff. I did not know why that building got shut down. And the only thing I could say with that too, because I know it was called the animal house, and how wild they was in there. So, but still, I never actually knew till I started hearing things a little bit later. And then now, because of the elevator and what was said today, the building was actually supposed to be still shut down until they get it up to code. And I believe, even though it was considered as the animal house, it's livable. It's livable. But the only way it can be up to code and back up to code, that elevator has to be fixed. And it must going to cost a lot of money. Because this person got other spots with elevators in it. But I guess he felt like this building is not worthy for the elevator to be fixed. But with me and what I do, to be honest with y'all, if I got a person coming in a wheelchair and I put them on the 3rd floor, because my goal is separating the men from the women, stuff like that. So if I put them on the 3rd floor, they can get on the elevator to get up. And then not only that, we would have to make plans to say, like, if, God forbid, a fire start out, and that's with anywhere, and you got a person that's in a wheelchair up on the 10th, 11th floor, they can't go use the elevator. So actually somebody would have to be there to actually help them come down the steps, the fire escapes and stuff like that, if they wheelchair bound. Now y'all hear what I'm saying? Because for me, I would have to set that up. Because of my housing program, I would have to make sure we got somebody there 24 hours around the clock, just in case something happened. To be able to help somebody in the wheelchair or the people in the wheelchairs get out the building if they can't, take the elevator. So being the businessman that I am, I would start thinking like that too, how we can get them out, blah, 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 get them to safety. I know that just sounds crazy, didn't it? But that's the whole point of looking at the clients first. But some people look at the money thing first. The clients last. Good night. I love y'all. Thanks. I ain't gonna sit here and say I ain't mean to be on this long. Because sometimes I don't. I just be talking. And I wish some people with that vindictive mentality stop trying to hurt people that never did nothing to hurt you. Because you don't want me to go too deep. Because I already know a lot of people pain that's stemming from today is childhood trauma. Okay? Your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins. Ain't got nothing to do with Mr. Steve. All right now. But you'll take it out on Mr. Steve. All right now. Told y'all I got 32 years clean. Sponsor a lot of men and women. Help them get through some of the toughest times in their life. So when you come up against me, and I know I don't know you in that sense, and you feel like you need to buck on me when you want to take me down, I know you hurt. I know you pained up. And it ain't me, it's the world. It's you against the world. Stop. Stop. That's the whole point of dealing with whatever that's bothering you. Stop taking it out on everybody else. Stop. If you've been violated and all this type of stuff, and some people that you putting your aggression above, out on, stop. You too, Devin, have a nice weekend. Stop. That's why a lot of times when y'all come up against me like that, and I know I didn't do nothing, but you want to sit here and check this out. If you hear, now I'm not going to say you can't, I'm not going to let you do too much to me. Come on. Come on. Because I'm going to do what I can to protect myself. So I don't know why you would think it would be okay to attack me and I'm supposed to just let you. And I keep saying this. I do not like prison. That's why I try to avoid as much as I can. I don't like it. But if you okay with going to prison, then please go and knock on the door and tell them to let you in. Why would I want to do something stupid? Let me back that up again. Why would I want to do something stupid where I spend the rest of my life in prison? For something I can just avoid. I ain't that mad with no goddamn going body. So why would I want to do something stupid at 63 years old? All of a sudden now I want to start going around acting tough and tough. At 63 years old. Why would I? Why would I want to go to prison, go to sleep with men, wake up with men, go to the bathroom with men, go to the toilet, go to the shower, go to breakfast, go to lunch, go to dinner with men? And maybe I need to say this right here for a judge or something that I talk with the next time. Why would I, at 63 years old, want to do something dumb to go to prison? At 63. That's some gay shit. And you don't even realize it. The hell I want to be over somebody's prison looking at niggas all day long. Thinking that's manly like. I ain't got nothing better to do. 63 years old. And I just want to go to prison. I go to prison. At least I had 3 meals a day. I can't even eat the food. I basically had to starve myself when I was over there because my legs were swollen up. That's why I had an operation on my right foot 2 times while I was there. Because I could not eat the stuff. And I told the people, I said, please help me. Because the fluid was coming in my legs. And it went down to my feet. And it got infected. Now I'm going to say this one more time as a thug. Why would I, a businessman, a grandfather, a father, 63, if I live to see 65, thank you, Jesus. If I live to see 70, thank you, Jesus. So the only reason why I'm saying that, why would I want to spend my time over prison with a bunch of freaking men? And I watch guys like 52, 54 come in and their pants up, and a week later it's down on their butts. Why? And I know a lot of y'all will talk all that slick King Kong stuff. You know, yeah, but I ain't gonna take this, and I ain't gonna take that. Blah, blah, blah. But you know what they would do with somebody like me? Because of what I do, they would find everything in the world. I ain't got to commit too much of nothing. I ain't got to do nothing wrong. But they will find a way, a good enough try to be, to shut me down. And that's one of the reasons why I said, too, I did not want to talk with the police. Why do I got to be like this? I've learned, and I am learning, and be honest with you, when they come to me and they want to ask me a question, I don't be wanting to answer it. Because one, I talk too much. I'm the big mouth, bald-headed black dude. So if I go to explain myself to them, it's like they don't hear me. I already know it. I watch how they might talk to somebody else, and when they come right to me, no matter how, I might tell them who I am, what I do, blah, blah, none of that matters. We want to know what law did you break. Now you get what I'm saying? And I started seeing that. And that's what the police told me. He said you pulled the knife out on him. Now mind you, I mean a pair of scissors. I'm sitting at the desk with the chair. Y'all know where I always sit at, right? Because my office is right there. I'm sitting right here. They go a pair of scissors back there. They go a pair of scissors over there. And he gonna ask me, do you have scissors? I said, this is an office. My office over there and my office over here. So he spotted, as far as my office right there. So I'm sitting at that desk this way. There are scissors right here. There are scissors right there. You're in an office. I said, yeah, this is an office. This scissors right here. This scissors in that office over there too. But did you check to see did he really have a... We ain't worried about that. Because he ain't use it on you. But you gave him time to move the car and everything. And let me stop. Let me stop, y'all. Because there's certain things you can see. But the point that I'm trying to make, he was trying every excuse in the world or look at a law that I might have broke. And the only reason why I went down there today to have a board meeting with my board members. The one female is in the housing program, but none of that mattered. So once he did talk with them and try to see who was what was what, he was more focusing on, did you have scissors in your hand? Then me and my board member was talking about how he reached like this. Now can y'all understand why? And I'll say it again and again. I do not care to talk with the police because they look for something like law breaking. They don't want to hear your story. They want to look and see. And what dawned on me, I should have said this too. Like I was saying just now, I'm 63 years old. I am considered as an elder. Why am I going to go around, call myself doing business and stuff, right? Why am I going to go around trying to fight people and do certain things? 63 years old. I did all this stuff when I was like, back in the days. I ain't no problem taking you down. 63. And I guarantee you, if I said, man, I'm 63 years old, would I look like jumping up fighting like I'm a little kid? I ain't no boxing, all of that. But I guarantee you would have said, well, we lock them up older than that. I understand. But I'm talking about me. I'm just telling you about me. 63 years old. Why do I want to go to prison when I'm trying to run a business? It flies right over their heads. It flies over their heads. This is business for me. This is what I do. So why am I trying to do something to go to prison when I'm trying to run a business? It flies right over their head. Good night. Love y'all, family.